Who goes there? Be they friend or be they foe? I have a couple sips of my tea left. That's exciting. While we gather the people. Why haven't you gone live yet? Let us stream. I know you have gone live. Please, actually start the fucking thing. Hey! I have hit the live button and yet you will not go the live. That is stupid. You are being
Why is everyone
stupid.
spiraling over?
Shut up, a commercial. No one cares about you. Start the fucking thing. Okay, good. We're good. Just did the audio check. We're all fine. All right. Just chatting with some people. Oh boy. Today's content drop has caused a lot of controversy. People disagree with me on what the top 10 regiments of renown are for multiplayer, and I'm sure tomorrow's video of the top 10 worst RORs will be met with similar acclaim. What was lunch? Leftover fish from last night, so we heated that up. It was salmon seasoned with garlic, rosemary, black pepper, and salt. And then we had roasted potato wedges, which is obviously just potatoes chopped up real thin and then seasoned with garlic and a little bit of red pepper and black pepper. Because you don't have too crazy different seasoning palettes here. And then last night we also had mixed veggies steamed, but none of those left over. So I just had potatoes and fish, which is allowed. Enough waiting. The people who are here are going to be here. Anybody who's not here right now is literally never going to show up. So what do we have today? We have a new player tournament. Like our usual, this is our first one that we'll be co-hosting, I guess, kind of, with Big JP. It's his tournament. He's running it. I'm just casting it. It's kind of I mentioned it in a stream a couple weeks ago, but we'll still be doing weekly new player content. Just some of them won't be tournaments I'm hosting. Some will just be ones I'm casting. So, yeah. Should be good. This will be Conquest. It is on the new patch, but they decided to go with a mod that reverts the splash attacks to the previous patch. So we shouldn't have the issue with Monstrous Infantry being terrible. But we'll see. So this is slightly modded. It just fixes the splash attack bug. It's not like rebalancing a bunch of units. There's going to be no crazy skins or anything. It's a very tame mod. Tzeentch are going to use the mod? Yeah. There's a delay, so clearly your question just got answered. Well, let's get into it. Now, this is a hybrid of my usual audience and RTK's usual audience, because Big JP hosted it. So I have never seen Pickle Barrel before as a person. I have no idea who they are, but I've seen Zero around. And we'll have Chaos Dwarfs versus Khorne on the outset. Khorne not taking any DLC units. I don't know if Zero actually has the DLC. What up, Adelmo? How you doing? Above in the chat, but I did post Tequila Sunset is casting the advanced player tournament version of this. It's just Conquest, but with more sweaty tryhards and less of our favorite new players. No. That is a joke. I mean, that is the event that's happening, but not about the sweaty tryhards bit. It's just people who aren't as new to the scene. So for the two armies, Pickle Barrel versus Zero. Pickle Barrel brought a bunch of Goblin and Orc laborers to fill out his lines, because Chaos Dwarfs have a very famously expensive roster. Some Chaos Dwarf warriors, including the Blazing Beards of Basvarak, Infernal Guard Fireglaives, and then two Bale Taurus mounted people. One is a Firecaster with Burning Head. The other one has no spells, just Reforged to heal up the ROR Demon's Tongue Dragquick Mortar. And hey, that was #1 on today's Best Regiments of Renown video. That's crazy that it would show up in a game like that. You know, aside for Zero, we have Valkia, who is very quickly going to die if she 2v1s the Bale Tauruses like that. Then some Chaos Knights of Khorne, a regular Skull Cannon, not the ROR, and then a bunch of Minotaurs and Marauders. Now, unfortunately, the Minotaurs on this map specifically, with this big old trench in the middle, you got to be careful about your melee timing, because now these Minotaurs are getting a charge uphill, which does make them less powerful. And Marauders getting hit with those blasting charges is pretty brutal. Valkia is already shattered. They're trying to kill her for the extra leadership debuff, and it looks like they will get her, so she plummets to the ground, dead. That is a big loss for Khorne already. The Iron Demon ROR is going crazy. Has already gotten 1300 value, has not taken any damage at all. The Skull Cannon is really the only thing feeling fine. Dreadquake Mortar Shot keeps going through these Marauders. Marauders are already peeling away in large numbers. It's largely down to just Chaos Knights and Minotaurs to try and carry this, and that's a lot to ask of them. Their fire damage not very effective versus Chaos Dwarfs, who have a significant amount of fire resistance on their roster. Most units taking 15 to 20% less damage from these things. Burning Head through the middle from the side of the Chaos Dwarfs. Just wanted to apply that burnt debuff, get Marauders to rout even quicker, just leave the Minotaurs all alone. The only thing you could be kind of concerned about is there's not a lot of good Minotaur fighting tools on the other side. It's just this Infernal Guard Fireglaves. None of the Bale Tauruses, the Demon's Tongue, none of them want to just sit and fight Minotaurs. We're going to see finally the Demon's Tongue take significant damage. It's when it gets caught in all these big armor-piercing large models. Will have difficulties getting out. Now, it'll still do decently on its own. That Dreadquake Mortar shooting as it is in melee, plus its little fire thingy, the flamethrower on the front, does decent damage, but Monstrous Infantry are one of the few things I can actually trade effectively back into it. Balanced power indicates my feelings on this, though. Khorne is significantly behind. The YOLO of their lord at the very start was unfortunate, but also going all melee into the Chaos Dwarfs is just a huge mistake because of the Demon's Tongue Dreadquake Mortar combination. You just can't. Like, nothing can deal with this thing in melee. Little bit of disrespect friendly fire on the way out from the Chaos Dwarves, but it won't change the outcome of this game. And a quick 3-minute victory for them, as I wouldn't be shocked if army losses hit right about now. Gelt is jealous of all his explosions. Yeah, he wishes. There's the army losses. The Chaos Dwarf train ended up with a crisp 3,000 gold. But Human Boy doesn't know what regiments sit around are good. Human Boy is stupid and dumb. Well, look who's laughing now. It's probably the Chaos Dwarves. They feel pretty good about what just happened. Will you hurry up and crumble? Jesus, that is taking a long time. All right. So pretty quick win. The Bale Tauruses both did pretty well. Nothing else really had to do that well. Blazing Beards did okay, Infernal Guard did okay, and then the Iron Demon did fantastically. I wonder, does everybody else add up? That is about 2,700. 3,600, yeah, okay. So the rest of the army does outweigh the Iron Demon, but just barely. For 0, Valkia got 7 value, which I don't know how it's even possible when she flew into 2 single entities and swung. Minotaurs did okay, but everything else struggled. GG. I'm not liking the look of the next one. Khorne versus Dwarves. It's Dwarves. It's Dwarves. Dwarves make me sick. Here's the thing. I got to play Dwarves for the first time in a very long time on the patch day release stream. And I didn't even take anything cheesy. I took Ungrim Iron Fist, Dwarf Warriors, a couple Thunderers, a couple Iron Drakes with the Flame version, 2 Goblin Hewers, and a Cannon. And it just felt disgusting. Like, I felt like I couldn't lose. I didn't micro one of my Thunderers for quite a long time. Like, half the battle, he just sat facing the wrong direction. It didn't matter. I used to be a Dwarf enjoyer. I like the Dwarves thematically. I like them in lore, but in practice, no, I'm a Dwarf hater. They're just so strong. Watch as I've set this all up, and then Khorne's gonna body his ass. So we have Twist versus Spike. For the Dwarves, the front line of miners with blasting charges, backed up by Thunderers. We do have the Arwar, Grudge Thrower, the Goblaba, some Quarrelers, Long-Drawn Slayer Pirates, and then Dwarf Warriors on the back. Thoric Ironbrow and Garogrim Iron Fist. This is something I do think Dwarves do too often, is they hard box. And I think there is a lot of situations where hard boxing is not beneficial, and this is one. The Thunderers can't see. Because a lot of people are like, the Dwarfen front line is short. You can see, and it's like, well, not when your shooters are also short. So the Thunderers are going to get obstructed a lot of the game, I guarantee it. Also, I feel like the Slayer Pirates, long drongs or otherwise, are just trash. I don't know. I haven't seen these guys do very well in a long time. So I'm concerned for this dwarf build. The other side for Khorne, we have 2 Gorbis Chariots of Khorne. They have gotten several buffs in a row. They're feeling pretty strong. They were feeling strong last patch before they got more buffs. Triple Chaos Fury of Khorne recently got nerfs. Then we have 3 Wrathmongers, including the Blood Wake Berserkers. And then backed up with some Marauders and the Skull Taker. Now, I personally slotted the Skull Taker and the Wrathmongers as being trash, but we'll see. This is one of the matchups where they could do okay. Armor piercing, low model counts. They don't take as much damage from those minor blasting charges. And then the Skull Taker is really good at killing enemy infantry. The problem is most lords are going to be mounted and just walk away from them, but dwarves, they don't walk too fast, so we might be able to actually catch somebody. So the Gorbis Chariot's doing really good damage so far. The Chaos Furies of Khorne taking a lot on their side. And these Wrathmongers are going to sprint through that minor front line. Not taking much damage from blasting charges, as we discussed. High armor, low model count makes the miners blasting charges have a bad day. But yeah, these Thunderers are just not able to shoot. They can't see anything. And they've already had to try and fall back to get somewhere else to sit and shoot. But Thunderers are not very good versus infantry. They're only good versus tall, large targets. And they do need a very spread out battle to be helpful. So I do think Khorne is actually in a really good position to win this at this point. Gargrim is dueling with the Skull Taker. And I mean, both are duelist forces, but Gargrim had to fight on top of the Bloodwake Berserkers. And now these guys are into the back line. Quickly, all the dwarven range stuff is going to get compromised. And then the balance of power looked better and better for Khorne. So, yeah, I think Khorne has this in the bag. Balance of power be damned. Gorbis Chariot still running around, causing a lot of disruption, as they do. Decent damage on that lot. But again, Chariots aren't really meant to carry the game damage-wise. They just cause mass disruption and stop your shooting units from being able to fire. Or to just sprint through like heavily armored defensive troops to do some decent damage. Skull Taker completely bodies Gargrim over here. Easy kill for him. Yeah, he's gotten significant value off killing that expensive Dwarven hero. I'm surprised the bounce power hasn't come around yet. These Thunderers are trying to rip shots in the Gorbis Chariot. But looks like they've drawn the attention they don't want. A Sword of Khorne is coming for them, as are the Gorbis Chariots. Yes, Khorne is very much done with your resistance, little Thunderers. And they are down. Khorne takes the bounce power lead for the first time this game, as Skull Taker has now found his next target. He's dueling Thorgrim. Not Thorgrim, Thork Ironbrow. I wish it was Thorgrim. Thorgrim is baller. Goblobbers are in melee combat, so they're not useful as a ranged unit anymore. Elsewhere, we just have some Thunderers trying to hold on, Dwarf Warriors trying to hold on. But I think as the Skull Taker keeps ripping apart Thork Ironbrow, balance of power is going to keep getting worse and worse for the Dwarves, since I think he is really their last significant balance of power piece. We still have an awful lot of those Wrathmongers. Yeah, full health one over here, half health ROR, almost dead regular, to be fair. Both Gorbis Chariots are chilling, Skull Taker's chilling. There's no hope for the Dwarves here. Dwarven players beware. The box is not always the best thing. Boxing can really limit your mobility in your line of sight, as we saw here. I'm betting the Thunderers, none of them got significant value. Majority just place orders. They rarely go against the OP Dwarves. Ah, I see. So I'm just curious about the Thunderers. 406, 554, 250. Yeah, so they didn't have good lines of sight all game. Fortunate for them. I also don't fully understand the Goblobber here. Okay, yeah. Twist. I'm just looking at Twist build quick. Wrathmongers did pretty fine. Gorbis Chariots also did very well. These guys are okay. So let's take a look at Spike's build. I'm going to pause my own stream, because then I can remember what the build is. Maybe he doesn't want my advice, and that's fine, but for anyone who does care. So I'm just going to copy his build quick, and then go from there. Gargrim, minus the blasting charges, he had 5. Dwarf Warriors, he had 5. He had a Quarreler with great weapons. Okay. 3 Thunderers, Long-Drawn Slayer Pirates, and then the Goblobber. I need 400 gold back. Thork was on his anvil. I don't think he had this, or this, or this. I know he had Rune of Wrath and Ruin. What did Gargrim have? honestly maybe had everything. That doesn't really matter. So let's just... There. Okay. This is approximately what it was. I don't remember what Thoric or Gargrim had. But the problem with this is, against Khorne specifically, what's the Goblobber going to do? Versus Khorne, you know they're going to charge you. Or I guess they're going to hard kite you with skull cannons. Neither situation is conducive to the Goblobber. The Goblobber is anti-infantry poke. So if Khorne brought a bunch of infantry, they're rushing your ass, and he gets 2, maybe 3 volleys off before the front lines collide, and then he can't see anymore. And if you're getting skull cannon kite, he does no damage to skull cannons. So I would cut that and get a regular cannon. First thing. I already said I think Long Dog Slayer Pirates suck. I think Quarrelers is great but suck. So you can cut those and get your money back. Now if you want to hard box, you can do this still. I would cut 1 Thunderer. Get some Quarrelers because they can fire up and over your front line. And the Thunderers need to be anti-air or anti-Minotaur. And then maybe, honestly, get an Iron Drake to further harass the Chaos Fury's low leadership. And then when they fly in, they just get hit with the Iron Drakes. And Demonics build a crumble quicker, and then you can afford another Ranger. So if you really want a hard box, I'd make these changes. Personally, what I think is better is cutting a lot of the Dwarf Warriors, cutting some of the minus blaster charges, because Khorne wants all those kills. They want those juicy kills to get Swords of Khorne and whatnot. So this is a decent front line. And then I like to just attrition them out. So I'd go like 4 Thunderers, 4 Quarrelers in the back, and space them out in a checkerboard pattern. And just have Dwarves defend Dwarves. So Flesh Hounds, Chaos Knights, Minotaurs, Chariots get into your back line. While 1 Chariot charges through a Quarreler, it gets shot by like 3 Thunderers. Something like that. Get a Trollhammer Torpedo. Gargrim, I would honestly cut him because you're never going to outduel Khorne. I have a lot of criticisms for Khorne's Lords and Heroes, but they are not weak duelists. And you're just not going to be able to outfight them. But you can shoot the shit out of them. Like Scarbrand, it's kind of a meme how much Scarbrand runs into backlines and like instantly dies. So something along the lines of this. I don't know what he actually brought on Thoric, but there is a way to like cut a little bit more and get Althar's Raiders. So you could just cut like 1 thing or something. I cut Runa Speed. Get Althar's Raiders for that marked by Althar. Just make something easier to shoot. Maybe Scarbrand, maybe Valkia. But I don't know. Versus Khorne, you don't want to give them a lot of kills. So I don't think building a meaty front line is going to be good versus them. Even if they didn't have the Wrathmongers, they still have Bloodletters. Bloodletters are great versus Dwarves. So something like this would be my suggestion if anyone cares. And if you don't care, then whatever. Alright. I gotta save some more replays while you load up here. What do we have? Devil versus Sir Arthur of Itis. 1, that is a good joke on arthritis. And 2, I like that he is Sir Arthur and he's playing as Bretonnia. So big ups on this name. This is a good name. It's a good name, whoever you are. Love to see it. As I save some other replays, I'm going to hit pause real quick. Saving replays. Saving replays. So there's more things to cast when I don't get distracted and talk too long about builds. Cool. Let's do this. Parry Post sent me one in DMs. Ooh, how fancy. Skull Taker OP, yeah. I didn't even get the joke. Ah, I got you. Dude, I always get the jokes. Alrighty, for Tzeentch here, we have some Chaos Furies in the Vanguard. Shrieking Skyrays, a regiment of renown that used to be a staple in like every Tzeentch build of mine, and then recently I tried it, and after all the nerfs, it felt terrible. Though, actually, hold on. Shrieking Skyrays are monstrous infantry. That's why they felt like shit. This was on patch day, and I threw them at Beastmen archers, and they couldn't even kill Beastmen archers, and they died instantly. They're affected by the bug. Never mind, my sweets. I'm so sorry to have doubted you for even a moment. You were my favorite regiment of renown. You're the best. It was the bug that hurt you so badly. I knew you didn't get nerfed into the ground. I knew you were still secretly good. It's okay. CA will hotfix it soon, and then you'll return. Okay, I love those guys, so I just realized that that's probably why they were hot garbage. 4 Centaurs of Tzeentch, and then a front line in quotations of 4 blue horrors. Well, one of them is a pink horror ROR, the other one's a blue horror ROR too. Herald of Tzeentch with blue fire, and that is it. So kind of a soft kite build here from Tzeentch. Kind of. For Sir Arthur of Ritus, you have the Knights Lionhearted Magic Damage Knights versus Tzeentch. Pretty strong stuff against all their demons. A bunch of Peasant Bowmen. Then a frontline of Men-at-Arms Polearms. Spearmen backing them up. A Lifecaster with Regrowth and Awakening of the Wood. And then Lewin and Henry Le Massif with a Vanguard Royal Pegasus Knight. And Lewin and Henry are not about to let this Tzeentch caster get away. Centaurs are coming in. But it looks like Lewin and Henry were maybe trying to bait them in so that a Royal Pegasus Knight rear charge on top of Centaurs who are debuffed by the Sword of Khorne. That is a pretty cool little trap. I am now worried because there is a trap within a trap as you are now sitting in enemy infantry and cavalry and you're going to get rear charge by Centaurs. So I rear charge you. No, sir, I rear charge you. But the Royal Pegasus Knights are not going to take that lying down. They do try and counter charge back at them as one Centaur of Tzeentch is already pushed away. A blue fire is coming in to do a little bit of damage. Hits Lewin right in the face. The rest of the Bretonnians are trying to move up, but a Chaos Fury Suicide Dive does take out a lot of the archers. Actually, all three of the archers. And they try and get up and away before the leadership gets too low. A Regrowth is cast to attempt to save the Royal Pegasus Knights. They're already down to half their models, though, and they are being set ablaze by the pink horrors. No, none of the fire damage hit them, so the Regrowth is going to full effect. But still, even then, these guys look like they might be about to shatter as Chaos Furies have joined the flight. So overall, a pretty bad trade for Bretonnia. They got a lot of damage onto one Centaur, and in return, they lost an entire Royal Pegasus Knight. Lewin and his friend Henry, his roommate, Henry, trying to fight back against the Chaos Furies, but they have no archer support, so no one can help them up in the skies. The Royal Pegasus Knights have already been routed away, so really they are alone up here. And I think overall they'll take a decent amount of damage. It's not like the Chaos Furies are going to tear them apart, but still decent damage coming out as a overcasted blue fire hits Lewin in the side. I don't know how much more Bretonnia can do here. The Knights of the Lionhearted are attempting a valiant last stand, but they're outnumbered 2-1 by the Centaurs here. 2 Centaurs of Tzeentch versus just the Knights of the Lionhearted. Bretonnia put a lot of money into these single entities. Lewin is almost fully kitted out. Henry brought Guardian. Ooh, no, you should never bring Guardian. Physical resistance against Tzeentch. Literally everything Tzeentch has does magic damage, so Guardian is literally worthless. Bit of a oopsie there. Is this tournament using a mod? Yeah, it's using the splash attack mod thing, yeah. Important question, how's the Mukau? Mukau's fine. He was on our last stream. We snuggled with him on camera for a little bit. He's good, he's fine. Actually, that name's a bit of a sore point. Oh, because arthritis. I got you. Anyway, Bretonnia is in a bit of trouble, but what you could try and say as a positive is that Lewin and Henry are pretty spooky. And Tzeentch doesn't have the best tools with them to take them down. It's not like they have chosen with halberds or anything, but I mean, a full surround by Centaurs if they land is pretty brutal. So still want to be careful. The constant blue fire poke is getting to be an annoyance, but maybe the Herald overextended a little bit. He used his Chromatic Tome, which has a chance to miscast, and the miscast took away all his barriers, and then he overcast, which has a chance to miscast, and that actually hurt him. So, Herald doing himself a little bit of a disservice. The Knights Lionheart are getting a regrowth. As the only Knights left to try and support Lewin, it is important to try and keep those guys alive. And Tzeentch is going to commit onto these guys now that they've landed. Centaur is going to flood into the area. The Lion Shield providing a lot of missile and spell resistance, so he should not get hit with a blue fire right now because it wouldn't do, like, literally anything. But none of that helps against the Centaurs. Centaurs getting their impressive armor-piercing values out onto Lewin and Henry. This is probably the end of our brave Bretonnian Knights. Unless the Knights of Lionhearted can come in for a rear charge, it's really the only way to turn this around. Lewin's Lion Shield wears off. He takes a nasty blue fire to the face. Still is just swarmed by Centaurs. Look at this nonsense. Look at this chaos. Literal chaos and also, like, proverbial chaos. Look, just because two big swarthy men would rather go riding together than spend time with angry women in silly hats doesn't make them roommates. They are, but not because of the questing. Alright, Awakening the Woods getting spammed out to just try and do some damage to the Tzeentchian forces. But I doubt it'll be enough. Looks like there was a blue fire attempt, but it got canceled pretty quickly. Spellbound is getting praise in the chat. Good for you, Spellbound. Good for you. I mean, Spellbound constantly haunts my waking moments, as every day I try and cast something. I think, what will Spellbound think of me? Will he find a mistake? Will he find a flaw? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't hurt me. Lewin gets stopped up by some Furies, as we have entered a rather slow late game, as the Herald of Tzeentch is trying not to make any oopsie poopsies and get caught. But if he can get away and cast like 2 more blue fires on Henry, Henry will die. Looks like he's trying to do that, but maybe cut himself a little bit short. Thankfully, he had barriers to eat all of that damage, so he gets away scot-free. On the ground, Tzeentch is taking the control point, and they are still firing away at the Knights of Lionhearted, trying to finish those guys off. But Bretonnia is getting back in this. Knights of Lionhearted have been slowly picking off Centaurs here and there. Now, if we stop spamming out Awakening of the Woods, and we wait up for a regrowth that can heal Henry up to full, Lewin's going to slowly heal himself back, and Bretonnia could actually win this. So I just hope I don't see any more Awakening of the Woods. Unless he already is lacking the... Why did you land? Oh, no! Oh, I think he was chasing the Herald, and the Herald baited him to go to ground. Damn. All right, without Lewin nearby to help, Henry just gets dragged down by the Centaurs super quickly, so he is dead. Never mind. This is probably GG at this point. I don't think Lewin can kill everything alone, as he's still fighting the Shrieking Skyrays over there, but, I mean, blue fires are all going to be aimed at Lewin now. We all accept he's going to heal cap, but there's only so much you can do with that. And what did Lewin just pop? Sword of Khorne on his way in as a blue fire follows him. Does he have the Lion Shield to stop it? He does not, but it all misses anyway. Let's go, Lewin! Lands in. This is the last stand of Bretonnia as everything is starting to break. A Bolt of Change hits, and army losses will take care of the rest. It doesn't matter how brave you are. When the game throws negative 100 leadership at you, your time is up. What does this mod do to the splash damage? Essentially just reverts it. Reverts it to last patch. Are they bugged now? They're bugged on live. They're not bugged on this mod. But yeah, on live they got all messed up, and now Monstrous Infantry do no damage. For Sir Arthur of Itis, his single entities did okay. Royal Pegasus Knights did not do very well. I think Tzeentch laid a clever little trap for them with those Centaurs in the trees, but also I'm just not a Royal Pegasus believer. That one, though, is personal preference. I know there are a lot of very, very strong players that do like Royal Pegasus Knights. I haven't seen it work. And then when it does work, I'm like, all right, regular Knights also would have worked in that exact situation. So I'm not sold. And I refuse to be sold. All right, I got a message I had to deal with. You stingers. So many chats, so many people trying to talk to me. Stop it. You stop it. Next replay, enough of this silliness. Greenskins. I say Mangler Squig. Narime versus Getsemen. Narime versus Getsename? Okay. Greenskins, Wood Elves. Greenskins with no... Wait, sorry. Wood Elves with no Durthu. That's shocking. And Greenskins with double Night Goblin Big Boss, both with the Squig Summon, both with a Potion of Healing. Damn. Alright. I know in normal events, you can only take one of items that have a limited use. I don't know about this one. I don't know if the player just didn't know that, or I didn't know if the Conquest unit caps just don't care about that. I actually have no idea. Would be interested to know. Are there any rolls for the Mangler Squigs? Let me check. Mangler Squigs are limited to 1 per army. Yes. Azhag the Slaughterer, we have Spirit Leech and Fata Buna. He is up on his Wyvern. We have 2 Night Goblin big bosses, both on Squig bosses. Both of them have their summon and their Potion of Healing. Then Orc Boys with Spears, Orc Boar Boys, 2 Snotling Pump Wagons, and a Mangler Squig. With a Doomdiver Catapult, which my chat has been annoying me with so much recently. They're just like, oh, it's because you didn't take a Doomdiver. Doomdivers are OP. Doomdivers are so good. All right. This is their time. This is their time to shine. I still think that unit sucks, but we'll see. Anyway, on the other side for Wood Elves, we have Glade Riders, Sisters of Thorn, Wild Hunters of Khorne. Then we have a Glade Captain. Interesting. Just a Glade Captain. No special abilities whatsoever. Then a Glade Lord with Pravenoth, Rayma, and Arrow of Khorne. Then some War Dancers, Eternal Guard, 2 Way Watchers, and a Branch Wraith with Melkoths and Earthblood. Glade Riders taking a very aggressive fight here, a little too early in my opinion. They don't have any support, they're just 550 gold light cavalry, so they're going to have a pretty bad time. Over here is where a lot of your damage is actually going to come from. I do like the Wood Elves taking engagements away from the Mangler Squigs, that seems pretty smart. But still, this might be a little over-eager, charging in like this without much support nearby at all. The War Dancer and Waywatcher frontline isn't really about to do anything, so you are just committing all alone. And they're going for it, getting some surrounds on decent single entities, but now they're in a 4v1. The Wild Hunters of Khorne just have some Shield Thorns, damage reflection. It's not like they have a regrowth or anything to bait out the enemy. Probably just going to get taken down. Sister of Thorn distracted by a Squig summon. And that is even a Fate of Buna on the Wild Hunters of Khorne, and this is a tragic start for the Wood Elves. Both Glade Riders on the other side are dispersed. The Wild Hunters of Khorne are going to get isolated and killed off, and the Sisters of Thorn have not been able to really contribute at all yet, and everything they contributed is towards a summon. Glade Lord's trying to move up now. Glade Captain's firing from far away. The War Dancer's getting into a fight, but they're getting downhill charged by Orc Boys. That's going to make the Orc Boys actually perform better than they might have otherwise. And, alright, Doomdiver Catapult is targeting this Waywatcher. Let's see it. Let's see that sick damage. Azhag gets netted in the sky with Pravenoth, Rayma, but there's not a lot of follow-up yet. It's just the Glade Captain and the Glade Lord themselves. Alright, that was 10s of damage. Oh. Oh! All direct hits and crazy low damage! That's insane! Who could have predicted that? Who could have predicted that this thing fucking sucks? I hate it. I hate it. I hate all of it. I hate everybody who recommends me to take that thing constantly. Man, that's some damage. Alright, the Squig summons are running over the Waywatchers now. This is where it starts to get ugly for the Wood Elves. They're already behind in the balance of power when the Squigs are chomping through some of their most elite archers. Sisters of the Thorn, I almost said Wild Riders of the Thorn, charging the Squigs in the back, but with a Wa to give them ITP, plus they have already the Squigs go wild, plus 10, 12 leadership when they're in melee. It's going to make it pretty hard to peel off, especially in the amount of time you need to save the Waywatchers, who are taking a lot of damage here. Branch Wraith is getting 2v1'd by the Goblin Big Squigs. The Night Goblin Big Squigs. And Azhag also jumps in for good measure, just to get rid of that caster. Wood Elves have the point for now. Not like it'll last that long. Some Angler Squigs are still full HP. Dang. They haven't been involved in too much combat yet. And man, if the Wood Elves could find a way, I know they're very busy, but if they could find a way to kill the Mangler Squigs right now, that would be huge. Like, look at the friendly fire damage these guys would do. They would kill so many guys. Oh, that'd be insane. But unfortunately for them, the Waywatchers are very much incapacitated. The Glade Lord and the Glade Captain are busy elsewhere. This is looking like just a GG. We do fruit roll limits for Conquest. Duplicate should be roll breaks, but it's a new player tournament. Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Doomdiver got 1200 value, shooting at Waywatchers all game long, completely uncontested. But for get some money, their cav needed to work more together with each other. Like, the light cav flank wasn't really corresponding with the heavy cav flank, and then also the rest of their build, they just moved in one by one. They moved these guys in, then they died. They moved the heavy cav in, then the heavy cav died. And then they moved the front line up, and the front line had no support. So it's unfortunate. Also, there was a reason you never see the Glade Captain, and we just saw why. They were firing all game, ended the game at full HP, and they got 68 value. Unfortunately, Glade Captains are just giga trash. Is double swing summon lord good for legal for other tourneys? No tournament I know of allows duplicate items like that. Maybe domination stuff. I really don't pay attention too much to the dom scene. Toad versus dragon. Luna Pruna versus Parry Riposte. Alright, let's save some replays while we're loading up. Now, this tournament is structured how our usual tournaments are, for the most part. It is 4 Swiss rounds. And then if there are, well, not if there are any ties, I think JP's tournaments just have a semifinals and finals, no matter what. So we'll be casting those for sure. So we'll just kind of cast some of the Swiss stage replays, try and get different faces on stream. And then cast any regular old fun replays. Checking in on the tournament, most people are in round 3. Some have already beaten round 3. One person is still in round 2. I thought you were about to stop doing these. This is what I was talking about. This is Big JP's. This isn't mine. I'm just casting this one. But I'm not doing any of the organizing, which makes it a lot easier. And I'm not adminning it at all during. I'm just casting the games. Alright, for Parry Riposte and his High Elves, 2 Lair River Archers up front, Aldous Guard in the back, Imric up on his Dragon, then we have some Silver Helms, the Fireborn, who are also my best regiments for now on list, and it's crazy that we see High Elves and they brought Fireborn. That's insane. That is wild. I am shocked. Regrowth Caster, of course, to keep those Fireborn and Imric nice and healthy. The other side for the Lizardmen, we have Skink Cohorts, Skink Horse Javelins, some Skink Skirmishers running around as well, so a lot of Skinks. We have Red-Crested Skinks. All Skinks all day. Some Cold One Riders, Feral Cold Ones. The Cold One Riders have spears. Horde of Waddle, Rev Crystal for a little bit of healing, and a Salon Mage Priest of Fire to deal some damage. Bound Banishment, Burning Head, Blood Statue of Spite, and Cascading Fire Cloak. It's the Skink Tide! I know CA has given some buffs to Saurus here and there, but it's still the Skink Tide. You just have to take Skinks. Saurus are far too expensive and too slow for what they do, even on Conquest. Nice breath attack from Imric. Unfortunately for him, it is onto Skinks, but I mean, looking at his options, he doesn't have a lot of great options, so he might as well. And the Fireborn in the background completely trash can a Feral Cold One, and they are now fighting Cold One Spear Riders, who have anti-large armor piercing, like the Fireborn, and they got a downhill charge, and this is after the Fireborn already just killed an entire Feral Cold One, and guess what? I'm still betting on the Fireborn to beat these guys. Fireborn are ridiculous. But they do need a heal soon, so hopefully for them that Regrowth Caster comes in range and helps out a bit. Elves are fighting on the hill, trying to hold these guys back while the archers fire up and above, as they usually do, but a nice burning head down the side. That's how you kill High Elves. Punish their low HP and tight formations using spells or ranged units or chariots. But overcoming their melee defense is rather difficult, so I like to see Lizards thinking outside the box on that front. Fireborn going to win their fight, but it looks like they'll take a lot of damage doing so. Hopefully they'll retreat, get some healing. Imric landed over here. I wonder what his plan is. Looks like he's just trying to stop some dart skinks from throwing their darts, getting a little bit of damage out. I guess he doesn't want to dive on the Slon and harass him because he's worried about the Court of Waddle. There's that regrowth we were waiting for. But yeah, I don't know if his talents are best spent fighting random 500 gold monstrous infantry and some Skink Cohorts. I feel like he has other things to be doing. The High Elves aren't really under that much pressure right now. It's not like Imric is needed elsewhere. Not much is going against them. Like, sure, their front line's taking damage, but isn't that what a front line is for? Their back line is now starting to get in a little bit of trouble. And this is where I'd like to see Imric pull away from this flank fight he doesn't need to be in and start sweeping through here. Like, side charge these Skink Cohorts and trigger their terror out, get them out of here. Maybe dissuade some of these guys. Maybe you have to harass the Salon, but Imric's got to do something to keep these archers online. The Lizardmen have just about finished. Ooh, that's going to be a nice burning head. Just about finished with the front line of the High Elves, and that means these archers are going to be under duress. The only way the High Elves win this is if their archers keep firing. Good little dodge here from Parrier Post. One of his archers got smoked by the burning head. There's not much you can do about that. It was a beautiful cast, so it's going to hit something, but nice dodge with the second one. The Fireborn are still in trouble. Even after getting a regrowth, they're still very, very low as they take on yet another Cold-Blown Spear Rider, and they might win this fight with Imric's help. And ooh, he has Breath Attack. There's a huge clump right here. I really hope he goes for the Breath Attack, but a nice Blood Statue of Despite from the Salon to make sure that these guys start losing models, that their healing gets less and less effective. Imric was going to charge in. Looks like he's reconsidering it. The Fireborn are doomed. Looks like he didn't want to land on them. Instead, he uses a really nice Breath Attack onto the Salon. Nice, big, juicy target. He can get some healing from the Rev Crystal, but it's pretty slow healing over the course of things, so maybe there's a snipe here as the archers try and pincushion him too. Imric lands in with a charge, misses his first charge attack, unfortunately, and immediately tries to get away. Looks like he was just going for some charge shenanigans. Didn't really want to stay in that battle. The Fireborn are gone. They'll come back, as they always do. I don't know if they're even worth a heal now after all the damage they took. High Elves are in a bit of trouble. Balance power is about 50-50, and I would definitely agree. The Lizardmen have lost a lot of troops, but also so have the High Elves, and another banishment is coming for the Logman Sea Guard. The main thing I'm worried about for the High Elves is DPS. Their balance power is fine, but I worry that they'll just get ground out of this game. There is still a lot of skinks ready to push up on those archers and be a nuisance. Another burning head comes through as well. And Imric being healthy is nice, and there isn't a lot that can stop Imric, but this isn't a game mode where Imric can like capture the point or something. So if the Lizardmen just go into survival mode and start like running around, like literally just running away from Imric as much as you can, they could win this off of points if they clear out everything else. And I mean, it looks like they are going to. So I'm getting legitimately concerned that the High Elves won't be able to capture the point at all, should that be necessary. And you know, the conclusion is like, well, they don't have to capture the point, they can just kill everybody. Yeah, but Imric's gonna take a long time to kill everybody. Right now, he's in the worst fight he could possibly be in, and he's doing okay in it. He's surrounded by Cold-Blown Spear Riders, enemy infantry, and the Court of Waddle. He's still fighting back rather impressively. That's just because their HP pools are depleted. He's already been getting a lot of healing. Up on the high ground, the Skinks have reached the High Elf archers. Already pushed them all away. Lyran Reaver is cycle charging as best they can, but can only do so much for you. The Fireborn are back, only to shatter and die. With 80 HP left, they'll run away. Imric is starting to take a lot of damage. It looks like he's trying to path to safety. Cascading Fire Cloak to help the Court of Waddle, but a counter heal for him. Cascading Fire Cloak does not apply fire damage, so his heal does not get cut. And I'm curious, is he trying to get into the sky, or is he trying to fight the Salon? It looks like he was trying to get into the sky. Then he paths back into the Lizardmen, so unfortunately there, some bad pathing is going to cost him quite a lot. And he probably just has to stand his ground and fight as much as he doesn't want to. Everything else for the High Elves is routing. I think they're probably doomed at this point, as Imric is fully flooded in with all these guys. The points are still ticking up for the Lizardmen. And Imric's not quite able to focus his shots. He really has to take out the Court of Waddle, because they keep applying daze to him, so they make his melee defense worse. But it looks like he's just attacking whatever he can attack. Routes off the Cold-Blown Spear Riders, which isn't nothing. I mean, the Cold-Blown Spear Riders are some of the mass that's blocking him in here. They're doing some decent damage, but still. Ooh, good Lord of Dragons of the Court of Waddle. Now his target selection has been getting a lot better as he gets shot after shot on these guys. These skinks surrounding him, he literally can ignore them. If he can get rid of the Court of Waddle, then he can path out, get up into the sky, and charge wherever he wants to. But it's kind of a moot point from what we talked about earlier. I mean, it's not like if he gets into the sky, he wins this whole game. If he gets in the sky, he's safe and sound, but still, the Lizardmen are ticking up the points. They just need this game to last longer. Or kill Imric. I haven't seen Imric doing much damage to the Court of Waddle, and I'm wondering if he hasn't gotten attack orders in a while, if he's just attacking whatever Imric auto targets at this point, which isn't good. He needs to kill the Court of Waddle so he can just path out his skinks, get in the sky. I think he still has 2 breath attacks. Oh, he has 1, but still, probably needs it. Lifecaster is dying. Her last overcasted regrowth onto Imric did a lot of miscast damage to where it appears. And that's just GG. Let's see what the High Elves can do. ×2 speed fast forward as we watch Imric get ground down. As soon as he routes, army loss is probably going to hit, honestly. There we go. I like that Shogun 2 reference. A shameful display. Our men are routing from the battlefield. A shameful display. God, Shogun 2 was good. It was real good. For Luna, good win. Court of Waddle, and then the 2 Cold One Spear Riders did great. Dart Skinks also did pretty well. Parry Post, Imric tried to carry. Not a lot of value from him because he didn't have something to duel. He was just kind of fighting random multi-entity models all game, which isn't his favorite thing to do. And then there weren't a lot of good breath attack targets, which is a lot of your value you're going to get back from a Dragon Lord is your breath attack targets. Fireborn did pretty well. Lane River Archers did their best. GG. Shameful that Shogun 2 multiplayer doesn't work anymore. Yeah. Alright, what do we got? So we have Kobe and TK and Arian. We already cast some Twist. That's literally the same game from 2 different angles, so I'll just keep one. Twist and Zero, we've seen both of them. Kobe and Devil, we haven't seen Kobe yet. Luna and Arian, we haven't seen an Arian yet. Okay, so this is the last one that I have to do so far to make sure we get all different faces on the cast. Make sure everybody who played and submitted replays gets on the stream. Yo, Pimp, is the charge bonus bullshit fixed? Not in live, but we are playing on a mod that just reverts it back to 5.3 for the charge stuff. But I'm guessing CA will change it very early next week in a hotfix, because literally everyone is complaining about it. And it's not just like multiplayer creeps in a very specific Discord. It's like, I've seen it on their forums, I've seen it in a lot of stream chats, I've seen it in a lot of Discords, I've seen it in CA's main Discord, I've seen it in the CA content creator Discord. Campaign players are complaining about it, campaign content creators are complaining about it, multiplayer content creators are complaining about it, so it's like, alright, everybody's complaining about it. And then they announced to the content creators, they're like, there's a hotfix coming out next week, and we know about the charge thing. So it'd be really weird for them to even say we know about the charge thing, and then not fix it. That'd be silly. Oh, co-op with a friend doesn't work on Shogun 2 anymore? That's odd. Alrighty. Let's do this. We have some Dark Elves. Koli versus TK Anarian. For Koli, we have Crows of Cain, some Vanguard Dark Riders, backed up by Dark Rider Peter Crossbows, Malice Darkblade, and then a Melkoth Mystifying Miasma Caster, Cold One Knights to back those guys up, Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, 1 Dark Shard, and that is it. On the other side, 4 of the Wood Elves, Wild Hunters of Kurnos, Dryad Frontline, Glade Guard to fire up and over the top, a couple of Eternal Guard here and there, Double Zotes, and Durthu. Durthu took some nerfs, Flock of Doom took some nerfs, but none of those nerfs were nearly enough to stop people from taking the big tree with the big birds. Frontlines collide, and again on the sort of Torgald map, it's down in this little crevice, so if you can get a downhill charge, it's very beneficial for you. Dark Elves have more melee units though. It looks like they're sending up some and a... up some, yes. Some up and around to try and harass the Wood Elf archers. Malice might want to duel Durthu. I legitimately don't know who wins that. Durthu with a much higher HP pool and honestly better melee stats, or Malice with 2 whole health bars. I was able to play co-op before, so not sure what the issue unless you're using mods, because Shogun 2 MP campaigns become unstable with mods. I see. First line of Dryads taking some decent damage, but they did get through the Dread Spears. Malice dove the back line. It looks like so will some Dark Riders and Cold One Knights. There are Zotes back here, but there's only 2 Zotes for a lot more cavalry than that. And actually, these Zotes just took a charge from the Cold One Knights. They should actually do pretty badly there. There was some Overwatch fire from Glade Guard, and Zotes are anti-large armor piercing and whatnot, so it's not like they'll do terribly, but the Cold One Knights got a free charge, and that is something they'll always take. Durthu's popping his AoE damage stuff, pushing away the Dark Elf infantry. It's Malice and the Crows of Cain trying to disrupt the back line. Dark Riders, Cold One Knights getting into fights here. Oh, there are Zotes way out here. Okay, the Zote flag was over there, so I'm like, what are you guys all fighting over here? Wild Hunters and the Zote's gonna take some damage. The Dark Elves really need these cav fights to go well. The front line did not go their way since they dedicated some of their front line to flanking the enemy. Oh, and the Dark Rider Peter Crossbows haven't joined the battle yet. Okay. They might just want to shoot Durthu from a safe distance, That might be their target all game. I don't know if they're going to get good shots in on these cav fights that are already engaged. A third full health Cold One Knight is trying to get involved soon. Looks like they're going for the Glade Guard for now. But I'm getting a little concerned. The Dark Elves are having to overextend so far just to shut down these archers, which is important. Not saying it isn't. But in the meantime, it feels like the Wild Hunters and the Zoats are just getting free hits on their back the entire time. Like, these Zoats took a full frontal charge from Cold One Knights and then somehow just didn't take any damage. And they didn't even use Flesh to Stone on themselves. They still have both their Flesh to Stone casts, so I have no idea how they beat the Cold One Knights so easily. Okay. Well, now we come back to the Malice problem. Malice has to find a way to carry this game, but he's only one man. He can only be in so many places at once. He is pretty expensive. When he used to be super meta and crazy, those were unfun times, but he is not feeling the best these days. Pretty slow to do damage as he jumps in onto some Zoats. Decent target for himself. Wild Hunters running around. A good amount of HP left on them. No healing, really, unless you count the Zoats bound Earthbloods. They have like 2 apiece. Oh, that one has 0. I think they only have 1 Earthblood. They might have an Earthblood and 2 Flesh Stones. I don't know. The Wild Hunters are on their own HP-wise. Take another shot from the Dark Shards before charging into them. They will get rid of those guys, but now getting rear charged by Dark Riders and Cold One Knights. Plus a Melkoth's. Alright. Dark Elves are very sick of the Wild Hunters of Khorne, and it looks like they will finally die. Durthu's still full HP. That is a lot of bounce power for the Wood Elves. Something to consider. The rest of the army maybe isn't doing as well as just Durthu is. As Malice continues to fight back against Zoats. On the back of spite. There's still 2 Zoats. One is suffering quite a lot. The other one is perfectly fine. And then there's Durthu to worry about. A couple Dryads here and there. Some Eternal Guard too. So the Wood Elves still have a lot left. For the Dark Elves, full health. A lot of ammunition. Dark Rider, Peter Crossbow. Half health Cold One Knight. A Caster. Crows of Cain. Decent HP and they're healing up. And the Malice hasn't even turned into Zarkand yet. That is a lot for the Dark Elves to grind through, dude. That is a lot. Sword of Daith just onto the Crows of Cain to try and damage them. Bleak Swords are going to wander into it. Might take a bit of damage here and there. Not really, though. Can the Dark Elves kite it out? That could be a good situation for them. Melkoth's Caster just spamming it while the Dark Rider Peer crossbows fire away, while Malice sits in the middle of whatever melee approaches him, heals up until he has to transform, then transforms and bodies whatever's around him. I don't know if that's enough to win the game, but it's probably the best strategy they have. Flesh to Stone, 60% damage resistance to these Dark Rider Peer crossbows, including their 25% missile resistance. Yeah, they're going to take like no damage from these shots. Dark Riders need to take the hint and shoot at something else, probably Durthu. What Elves have the point? Dark Elves got some tickets in the early game, but it looks like that point of this is over. Now it's a ticking time bomb where the Wood Elves will win if the timer goes off. So Malice will have to find a way to kill everything. Dark Elves trying to rally some forces on this backside. Cold One Knights and all that. Wild Hunters of Khorne about to get rear charged by the Crows of Cain. Might tip them into routing. As a couple of them get hit with those little harpies. 0 leadership. They manage to rally and they will fight back against the Crows of Cain. Another Flock of Doom from Durthu to hurt the Dark Rider crossbows, who, since they are literally full HP, will not lose any models and therefore not lose any effectiveness. Malice is for sure suicide charging to transform in the middle of these guys. He's got to transform right now. No, he didn't do it before the terror out! Oh my god, he's gonna die! Wow, that's a misplay from the Dark Elves. Oh no. I thought he was going in there intentionally to transform in the middle of all of them and then pop his Reaper of Souls, which is like a soul stealer in the middle of all those expensive units, and then just beat up on the Zoats while the Dark Rider Peer crossbows fire again. But I don't think Kobe was directly controlling Malice for that whole thing because he needed to do it immediately and he just sat there for a couple seconds too long and then took a bunch of damage and died. Oof. Damn. Bit of a misplay there at the end. He was very far down, so it's not like if he had done that he would have won the game, but he had some comeback potential still left in him. And that whoopsie. Because when Malice terror routes, he can't transform anymore. For Narian, good play overall. Durthu's still crazy strong. Wild Hunters of Khorne did fine, Zoats did very well. G. Alright. I have cast everybody who sent me something at least once, so unless we see names I don't recognize, I'm going to cast whatever I feel like. I'll save these 2 replays, and we'll look through. We'll find some builds, some matchups that look interesting. We could be a little more discerning after we've cast one of everybody's. Greenskins Khorne. That is Scarbrand versus Mangler Squigs, but yeah. The Remay still taking the double Squigs, double heal potion, which I'm hearing is illegal, but I'm not seeing it be illegal. Chaos Dwarfs versus High Elves, Khorne Mirror, Wood Elves Lizardmen, that's fucking Nakai. Tzeentch Dark Elves, that's Tzeentch Kite, that's gross. Gross! I'll think about it. And then Chaos Dwarfs versus Greenskins. It's the Dreadquake Mortar thing again with the 2 flying Bale Tauruses. Boo! Chaos Dwarfs are boring now. I mean, they've always been a little boring. Sorry, not sorry. This roster was designed to just single entity spam and try and win. On the other side, we do have a Colossal Squig. But I don't know if that's worth casting, watching the fucking Demon's Tongue just roll over everybody again. I don't know. We'll get to it if we get to it. For now, let's do the Khorne Mirror. That looked kind of fun. Did they fix Monsters Infantry? No. They're playing on a patch. Not a patch. A mod. That one. Jeremy, are you winning? Probably. If you watched my very first lore video, I talk about how Malice Darkblade dies, and it's not pleasant. So here we have Twist versus Zero in a Khorne Mirror match. Twist brought Karanak, which is like kind of an okay time to bring Karanak. A lot of people hate him because of his silence aura, messing with their mages, but since you have no mages, it's a little less unbearable. I mean, it still silences all your abilities and stuff, but it's not a mage. 4 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, 3 Khorne Gorers, and then 2 Marauders backing up the Bloodbrute Behemoth and Scarbrand with his AoE Rampage and nothing else. On the other side, we have 3 more Marauder Horsemen throwing axes of Khorne, 2 Skull Crushers who recently got buffed, Arbol the Undefeated, brand new character of course, and then Marauder spam into the horizon. Marauders dual weapons, all that stuff. With a cultist leading them, Bloodletter Summon in tow. I'm a little concerned this is a lot of free kills for the other Khorne to get and get some Swords of Khorne and stuff. But I guess Khorne Gorers won't have a lot of great targets on the enemy. Marauders should trade okay into Khorne Gorers, because the armor-piercing anti-large are both wasted, considering their price point. Still have pretty high melee attack stats, due to Frenzy and Primal Fury. But what Khorne unit doesn't have insane melee attack stats? I mean, look, these Marauders have 40, 44, 42. Main thing is Arbol has to avoid Scarbrand. Arbol has decent melee stats, but his main problem is his HP pool is too low. Not that he's a bad character, just saying like why he doesn't duel very well versus a lot of targets, and that low HP pool is going to hurt him. Karanax netted him in place, then charges right in. Interesting that Scarbrand's not taking that fight, but yeah, he's going here. He wants to rampage these 2 Skull Crushers of Khorne in the worst place possible. They're currently getting hit with armor-piercing throwing axes. They're fighting an anti-large Bloodbrute Behemoth. They're fighting Scarbrand. So yeah, these guys are getting wrecked right now as Khorne Gorers flood the space. Very tough start here for the red side. Red Khorne losing both their Skull Crushers immediately as the Marauders are now going to start to pile in. Red did take the point, so if this game goes long, I don't know how a Khorne versus Khorne Mirror goes long, but if it goes long, they'll win off the points. I don't know how a Khorne Mirror goes long. It's not going to. I almost guarantee it. Almost, because for all I know, the players could both go AFK, and then yeah, the points will get decided. But what up, Battlesy? How am I? I'm all right, dude. I'm all right. I'm okay. Feeling a little under the weather. A little sick, but a sick Saturday isn't the worst thing in the world. For red, their skirmish cav is currently in melee a little bit. That's not going great for them. And they also need their skirmish cav probably to be throwing at Scarbrand or the Bloodbrute Behemoth as much as possible. They're currently using their ammo to kill the Khorne Gorers and Marauders. But when you, the red team, brought 8 Marauders of your own versus 5 of the enemy, including the Khorne Gorers, your infantry can beat the other infantry, you have to focus on taking down the single entities, because that's where all of Green's money is. Scarbrand and Bloodbird Behemoth are unstoppable single entities compared to Arbol and a Cultist. So those throwing axes need to turn that tide. Not really help with the infantry fight. Nice surround here onto the red. Marauder Hunters, Marauder Horsemen, throwing axes. Obviously, same unit versus same unit in a mirror, it's kind of a wash, but getting the free charge on him and then a 3v1 surround is really, really good. Out goes the Bloodletter Summon, but I don't think it's going to be enough to deter Scarbrand from going for this Lord Snipe, and he probably has his Rampage back up soon. He used it at like the very start of the game, so 3 minutes, 30 seconds in, I don't know, what's its cooldown? 1.5 minutes, he probably has it up soon. I'm kind of surprised he didn't just chuck it down on Arbol right there. Looks like they're going to try and snipe out the Cultist instead. No point in doing that at this moment. He used his Bloodletter Summon already. And Arbol's used his Chaos Spawn, so this is the strongest red is going to get, and they're already down in the balance of power. That is a very worrying sign. Because the Chaos Spawn's going to desummon, the Bloodletter's going to desummon, their balance power is going to get even worse. Scarbrand and the Bloodbird Behemoth just running around wherever they please, routing off Khorne forces as they go. Looks like they just don't want to fight the summons. They don't want to bother taking free damage for no reason, as Karanak is dueling with the Cultist, but in comes the Sword of Khorne onto multiple Marauders. Nice job there. Scarbrand pops his Rampage, but he didn't really need to there. He wasn't holding anybody in place for the Sword of Khorne, but it looks like he is going to catch Arbol with this, so he charges in. We mentioned before, Arbol has a very low HP pool, so every hit Scarbrand gets is meaningful. Balance power gets crazy bad. As the Bloodletter Summon is faded, the Chaos Spawn will be in 5 seconds, and watch, when they despawn, I bet that's going to move visibly. Yep. Shifted a little bit. Not as much as I would have hoped, but it did shift a little bit. Prey of the Blood God is slowly spirit leeching down Arbol. Scarbrand takes care of him and army losses hits. Yeah, that was a good use of Scarbrand and the Bloodbrute. Mostly just staying away from the enemy skirmish cap. I don't know if Zero needed to position them differently or if that was more of Twist playing well and avoiding them, but keeping his big single entities away from those skirmish cav just decided the game there because they were so healthy. Push the balance power over. For Zero and Arbol, Arbol did okay. As soon as he ran into Scarbrand, he got murdered. The Skull Crusher catch at the start was really probably what decided it. Losing over 3,000 gold value that early on. And also both those anti-large cavalry are what you were relying on to kill Scarbrand and the Bloodbrute later. Arbol the soon to be defeated? Yeah. Yeah. Khorne Mirror. Let me save up this next replay. Let me mark that I saved it so I don't save it again. And check on the bracket. One person is still in round 3. Everyone else is in round 4 out of 4. So soon-ish we'll be getting into our semifinals and finals. Let's do this. Chaos Dwarves versus High Elves, but the Chaos Dwarves didn't just bring like 7 single entities. Which I'm here for it. Bull Centaur Renders is Chad. Infernal Guard Fireglaves are Chad. I want to like Chaos Dwarves. I want to. Whenever I play them, I just notice too many problems with the roster. Bull Centaurs are weird. Sometimes they'll carry entire games for me, and sometimes they'll just suck and die. And I don't know what the difference is. I'm sure there is a difference. I'm not saying it's like cursed. It's just, I can't fully identify what it is. It's like, I threw you against Croc Scores and you insta-killed the Croc Scores. And the next time I threw you against Croc Scores, you did nothing and sucked. What's the difference? I don't understand. Alright. For the Chaos Dwarves here of Pickle Barrel, we have 3 Infernal Guard Fireglaves, 2 Bull Centaur Unders with Grey Weapons, and then we do have a Bale Taurus Lord with Burning Head. Other than that, a couple of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, Goblin Laborers, and a Hobgoblin Wolf Raider, but none of those are really going to determine too much. The other side for the High Elves, a narrow infantry line, 3 archers, 3 spearmen. Pretty simplistic stuff there. But we have the Fireborn, a couple Lyran Reaver archers, the Omen of Asurian, Imric on his dragon, and then a Regrowth caster. Also, the Fireborn making an appearance. They weren't they possibly, potentially, weren't those on my top 10 regiments round list? Where were they? Were they number 2, number 3? That's crazy that we've seen 2 High Elf games. 2 games with the Fireborn here. That's wild. No, that can't be. That's a coincidence. It's clearly a coincidence. Fuck that. Human Boy can never be right about whether or not a regiment for now is really good or not. And if you want to see what regiments around are fucking terrible, check out our video tomorrow, the top 10 worst regiments of renown. But I digress as the burning head goes through the archers. I guess I'll stop promoting my own content. My own amazing, incredible, fantastic content. The difference is both they drank Red Bull before battle. Red Bull gives you wings. Actually, that would make them fly. Archers and the Infernal Guard getting a bit of a duel. This being a desert map, it is sometimes hard to see those flaming red bullets. We occasionally see them colliding with the spearmen here. As now those guys are counterfiring the Lizardmen archers. Much better target for them. They're nice and tall, so none of the bullets miss. And then you're just going to get picked off every volley. I'll hang out here for another volley. Oh God! Jesus! Yeah, they're going to retreat now. They're tired of taking that much damage. Omen of Assyrian chases back the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. Ooh, oh no. He got baited. Bull Centaur Renders are about to dive on him. Damn, kids. When you're involved in an air battle, make sure the ground beneath you is safe, because your opponent might just hit that land button and then you're going with them. See, Omen of Assyrian is in real trouble. Infernal Guard are all trying to turn and shoot at it while the Bull Centaur Renders are also fighting it, but this is getting awkward. Kind of like we discussed in the first game of the day with the Dwarves. It's pretty hard for these guys to get a good line of sight now with all these tall units getting in the way. So you see some decent friendly fire going down. Those goblins keep getting shot. But yeah, the Bull Centaur Renders are going to countercharge the Fireborn. This is good. I like this. Just leave the Omen of Assyrian to your Infernal Guard. Though that thing actually has impressive fire resistance. Wow. Wow! That is tanky. 70% resistance against the type of damage coming towards it right now. That is crazy. So the Infernal Guard actually can't do very much damage to it at all. Wild. So the Fireborn are in the back line. Already we've lost one Infernal Guard, 2 others turning to try and shoot. Though this one is shooting slightly uphill and over its brethren, so it's probably going to be obstructed. Yeah, they aren't going to be able to shoot for anything. But all that fire damage finally comes into the front when the Fireborn get a regrowth. Their regrowth will get cut in half due to the Chaos Dwarf's fire damage, but High Elves are taking a bit of a lead. Bull Centaur Renders fully surrounding the Omen of Assyrian, and they are not getting that much damage out. They don't do fire damage, so it doesn't get its 40% fire damage resistance versus them. Now they start to take some serious damage, but in comes the Bull Centaur Renders to charge Imric. I like this a lot. We just saw regrowth go down on the Fireborn. It can't be everywhere at once, and if Imric dies real quick before he gets that healing, that is a huge loss for the High Elves. Some Goblin Laborers slipped past the Spearmen now that the Spearmen have engaged. Other Chaos Warfare are doing so as well, just to push those archers back and stop them from really participating in this game too much after this point. One Bull Centaur Render is routed. The other one is alive and well and surrounding Imric, but we're having kind of the game I was describing, where it's like sometimes they beat the brakes off stuff, and other times they just sit around and do nothing. Like, look at this. They have got value. Swing at him, you stupid bastards. You've been surrounding Imric for like 50 years. The Sorcerer Prophet of Fire is like, guys, I've been holding here forever. Why are you not swinging? And now the Bull Centaur Renders are attacked by the Fireborn, and now they start swinging. Okay, when you're in danger, you'll swing. When the Sorcerer Prophet's in danger, you're all of a sudden, how do axes work? How do axes do? I can't possibly swing my axe at things. That would be impossible. Fucking traitors. And Bull Centaur Render Jank is going to lose the Chaos Dwarves this game, as now Imric stalled for enough time to get his regrowth. They're now stuck in a bad fight with the Fireborn. Balance power shifting increasingly against the Chaos Dwarves. And it's all these guys' fault. It's all these guys. They got a beautiful flank onto Imric, and they sat around and did nothing with it. They did nothing. They had attack orders, they had the perfect position, and they did jack shit. They got some decent damage from fighting the Omen of Assyrian and Fireborn in the late game. They did swing at Imric occasionally, but they entirely shit the bed. And Pickle Barrel is going to go back to just playing 3 single entities because they're more reliable than these assholes. Screw you, Bull Centaur Renders. I hate you. Thanks for another great tourney. I didn't do anything, Zero. I'm just casting it. It's Big JP's tourney. He did everything. Don't you dare thank me. I don't like Fireglyphs in this matchup. Less damage into Fireborn and Phoenixes, and they're outrange. Blunderbusses have shields. Yeah, Blunderbusses are probably better here, for sure. Also, Bull Centaur Renders just being janky assholes isn't helping anybody. Oh, Pickle Barrel. Dude, you tried. You tried. I saw you, Pickle Barrel. You made good plays and your units failed you. It's not your fault. Parry Post also did fine. I was talking a lot about the Chaos Dwarves this game, but like, his Fireborn got good engagements. The Omen of Assyrian was a really cool, smart tech piece that I kind of thought he was memeing a bit, or just like new player tournament, people tend to take a little sillier stuff. But now that I saw it, like it has 40% fire resistance, and then physical resistance, and then ward save on top of it. That's a lot of resistances. Makes it super tanky to the likes of the Infernal Guard. So actually a pretty cool tech piece. Good job, Parry Post. Good job. I have a ping on Discord. Who's it from and why? Zero sent me a replay. Saved it. Kobe sent a replay. Saved it. Dark Elves versus Brett. Might have to go check that out. How we doing tournament-wise? Anarian and Impenetrable still in round 3. Round 4 is about halfway over. Okay. Tzeentch Lizardmen. Ooh, there's a cockatrice. Casting this one. We're casting this one. La Luna Pruna. La Luna La Pruna versus Devil. Just Devil. And I think the Herald of Tzeentch is an appropriate one for Devil. Herald of Tzeentch or like a Bloodthirster are appropriate for Devil. Look at his little horns. Because, like, the Bloodthirster is the obvious Devil you think of. Big, muscular, horned, red, kind of hot. You think of that, right? Units. Khorne. Like, is that the Bloodthirster? That's a Devil. That's a Devil right there. Hunky, masculine, handsome. On the back of most of my notebooks. But, like, there's another form of the Devil. And it's definitely a Herald of Tzeentch, like kind of the mischievous, still horned, right? But he's probably like a shapeshifter, probably goes into people's personal lives and like fucks with them a bunch. I don't know. So this is the more mischievous version of the Devil you see in like cartoons and stuff. But enough of that silliness. Let's get on with the game. Lizardmen versus Tzeentch, Skink Frontline, Skink Cohorts, Skink Skirmishers, Cold Spear Riders, pretty standard stuff, Red Crested Skinks. We have a Salamander hunting pack for a little bit of damage in the background. Mazdamundi on Zlak with little skinks next to him. He has Net, Apotheosis, and then his bound damage spells, Ruination of Cities, and Banishment. And we have 2 Ripperdactyls, one of which is the Colossadon Hunters. On the other side for Tzeentch, just a blue fire caster up on his little mount. If you want to save some money, I don't really see the point of Locus of Conjuration. Tzeentch has so much Winds of Magic generation as it is that he's going to probably run out of Winds of Magic before he needs more recharge, if that makes sense. So I just cut this, because already your Chromatic Tome has power recharge that you need. And then your Tier 1 army ability is power recharge, which I also spam the shit out of that. So, I don't know. I just skipped that if you want to save like 100 gold. Shrieking Sky Rays as well. We are on the patch that fixes Monstrous Infantry units. Well, the mod that fixes Monstrous Infantry units, so they're probably a lot better. Centaurs of Tzeentch. Blue Horrors. Some Blue Horrors and Pink Horror RORs in the back. 1 Chaos Knight of Tzeentch, a Cockatrice in the woods, and Chaos Fury Tzeentch. Hello, Cockatrice, you Manticore, but somehow worse and more expensive. How are you, my friend? I cast this in replay entirely because you're here, and I hope you don't disappoint me, because I want you to be good. You look cool. You look fun. You have a fun little ability. Your Petrifying Gaze. That's all neat, but for some reason you suck, consistently. Alright? So I need you to nut up, get it together. This is your big day. This is your big day. Today is about you. There are people counting on you. Get in there. What else is going on? I'm paying attention. I'm here. Herald of Tzeentch has been casting some blue fires, I see. Probably at the Salamander hunting pack, judging by their damage. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch trying to charge uphill, but they get caught in their own troops, which makes that very awkward. Oh, the awkwardness continues as they get in the way of this blue horror, stopping them from being able to fire. Oh, it's just a tragedy. Oh, it's so disgusting. They can't get back through, but the blue horrors like move out of the way of the chaos. They're like, you move out of the way, and it's just gross. All right. Cohort of Sotek getting bombed. They get refused to die, so they can't lose any more models, but they can still lose an awful lot of HP until those models start dying. Centaurs of Tzeentch get charged by Cold One Riders and Colossadon Hunters, but it looks like the Shrieking Sky Rays and the Furies are waiting for this opportunity to rear charge these guys, so it will still probably be a good fight for Tzeentch overall. It's the Cohort of Sotek. They're going to start dropping like flies. Yeah, there we go. It wore off, and you can see they already lost 15 models since I started talking about it. They're just so low on HP that all their models are about to die. We have a very explosive spread out fight. Some Ripperdactyls are diving the back line of Chaos, but Chaos Knights are going to go peel them back while Skinks try and fight through blue horrors. These red crested Skinks seem a little lost in the sauce at the moment. As Coldwind Spear Riders and Feral Cold Ones run away from a cockatrice, they might want to go help out with this fight. And the Colossus Hunters are solo winning this fight. Coldwind Spear Riders look to be about dead, but Colossus Hunters ripped apart the Shrieking Sky Rays and the Chaos Furies at the same time. Salamander Hunting Pack is shut down. We have Skink Skirmishers also trying to help out a little bit. Mazda Mundi in the meantime is still full HP, but he's not toilet seat Mazda. He does need to be charging through things. He does need to be getting in fights because he is extremely expensive on slot, so he has to use those melee stats to good effect. Blue Fire does a little bit of damage to Colossus Hunters, but they will finish off the Shrieking Sky Rays soon. I think the Lizardmen are overall getting the better of this. Ooh, nice Ruination of Cities through the Sour Guts. Good damage there. But again, Mazda's got to get in here, man. He's got to shut some stuff down. He can't be passive, I'm going to sit on the sidelines Mazda when he's not on his chair. Apotheosis heal up the Colossus Hunters. Lizardmen are running out of gas, and they're running out of gas very quickly. Looking around, besides Mazda, look at the health bars. Half HP on Coldwind Spear Rider, half HP on the Colossus. Feral Cold One, half HP, bunch of random-ass skinks, That's really it. Tzeentch still has both ROR horrors that are decently healthy. Full health Cockatrice, very healthy Herald, very healthy Chaos Knight in the woods. Now Maz is getting involved. Chromatic Abomination's quickly taken out after he gets involved. Sour Guts also getting torn apart by Coldwind Spear Riders, but with their hybrid melee stats and that little explosion they do before they die, I don't think Coldwind Spear Riders really want to stay here, so it looks like they're going to just opt out. The bounce power is going back to even, as Mazda's kicking tons of butt. Good rear charge in from the Centaurs. The Red Crest Skink ROR is unbreakable, but it's actually almost dead, and that could be a good rear charge that gets rid of the Skink cohort, but a Shield the Old Ones gives them leadership just as Colossus Hunters come in, so it was good play by Tzeentch, but the Lizardmen are here to support their little Skinks. And all of these guys break. Demonic Instability crumble or just shatter. Which is pretty brutal. Alright, Cockatrice, I mentioned you at the start of the game. You're going to have to put on some serious work, and wow, okay. So far, that's not looking to be the case. Between the Cockatrice and the Chaos Knights, they have to get something going. The Herald and Blue Fire is good, but it's not like carry the game style good. You still got to kill Mazda and the Colossus Hunters. That's going to fall more to these guys. The Heavy Cav, the true back of the Tzeentchian army. And the Cockatrice. Look at him go. Look at him do great. I have a message. Is it relevant to this? Alright. Cool. Blue Fire down the side of the Colossus Hunters. This should do a lot of damage, though they're landing at the same time, and Blue Fire has gotten some nerfs. Deserved, but it has gotten some nerfs to its homing, so it isn't as auto-hit as it used to be. Lizardmen are slowly ticking up capture points. That hasn't mattered in a single game so far, but, I mean, if Tzeentch wants to really fuck around and try and spam out Blue Fire, that point is ticking. Cockatrice trying to get some barriers back. Looks like the Herald is too. I am suspecting that he's going to keep casting Blue Fires on the Colossus Hunters, try and take them out and leave Mazda Mundi as a completely isolated force in the late game. I don't know if that even matters, though, because Mazda still has a Ruination of Cities, if my math is correct. Does he have a Banishment? He has a Banishment and a Ruination. Yeah, and the Ruination's going right down the Chaos Knights, who just got netted. Nice Blue Fire and did do a lot of damage. The Ruination didn't do that much to the Chaos Knights, but I did like the play for both players there. It was pretty solid. Unfortunately, the Colossus Hunters are currently on fire, so the Apotheosis didn't do as much as he would have liked. I saw a good Banishment coming in, but it got canceled by the Shield the Old Ones cast. I wonder if Luna will just chuck it down again on these guys, but now they're not netted. They can dodge if they want to. The Cockatrice is not netted, and it needs to rear charge right here. It being AFK is a disaster for Tzeentch. They're just losing the Chaos Knights for free. You're in a perfect position, please! Cockatrice, do something! Well, now don't do something. No! It's trying to dive in, and it gets in the way of its own Blue Fire. Somehow all those Blue Fire shots go around it. I don't know how that happened, but it did not save the Chaos Knights, and now it just gets in a 1v8 with the Colossus Hunters. A disaster for the Tzeentch player there. And what was a close game starts to turn pretty heavily against them after that. Apotheosis can heal up the Colossus Hunters. Cold-Blooded stops their rampage. And they're going to get great damage onto the Cockatrice and the Herald of Tzeentch. Chaos Knights are gone. Tzeentch is gone. The good old trickster god concept is indeed great. Do you have a version for that version? Do you have a name for that version of the devil? I don't know. Apparently Grieven's saying just devil. Shrieking Skyrays rejoin the fight. The Colossal Hunters will probably die up here, but look how much damage they did in the meantime. That Cockatrice was full HP. The Herald was also full. He's down to half. Cockatrice is almost dead. The Shrieking Skyrays now just getting shot at by little dart skinks. And Mazda is still full HP, and the Lizardmen have the capture point. Without the Chaos Knights, there's actually no ground units left for Tzeentch. Like, the Chaos Knights are still technically in the game, but they're so much low HP, they have very little capture weight. So, if the game goes long, the Lizardmen win. If the game is short, then you just have all these guys dive into Mazda and die, so the Lizardmen win. I think the Lizardmen just win. Blue fire! Ah! Plus the Shrieking Skyrays. That is an overcommitment to kill some skink skirmishers. Mans really did done hate those skink skirmishers. Chaos Fury's trying to finish off the Colossal Hunters, who did get an apotheosis while they were retreating, so they got a little bit of health back, but Furies are good at saturating this area. You can see how many of them are attacking each Ripperdactyl model. Leads to a lot of damage. Ripperdactyl's anti-large doesn't help them versus Furies either. So good clearing of the skies from Tzeentch, but unless they can do something about Mazda, I don't think it matters. So I'm just going to fast forward as we watch Mazda walk to the point. Just walk around ominously. Takes a blue fire in the back, stands at the point, stands at the point, stands at the point. Everybody dives back in. At this point, you have to army lost Lizardmen. I think it is literally just Mazda. Okay, it's Mazda and then those skinks. But yeah, they have to kill him, and they have 35 seconds to do so. Because they can't capture. They just can't do it. Furies are going to make sure those skinks run away, and there they go. So now it's officially just Mazda. Cockatrice is in. 23 seconds left on the clock. Mazda is taking decent damage. He's not dealing too much damage back, but there's no way you kill him or get rid of his leadership in that little amount of time. There's no way. It's impossible. I refuse to accept this reality. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Mazda Mundion's Lock just hangs out on the point. And the all flying all day from Tzeentch can't quite capture. Can't quite beat him. Colossal Hunters with the 2,400 value, just casually. For Devil, his caster did good work. His Blue Horrors did fine. Centaurs did okay. Chaos Knights did well. Furies did well. Shrieking Skyrays, there are my lads. So it is the monstrous infantry thing that screwed them, because now they're getting decent value. Cockatrice, still not great. Ever wonder if you're considering matchup vid series? What does that mean, Itatsuki? Because if it is what I think it means, then probably not, and here's why. Like, matchups change every DLC. Matchups change every patch. So to make a series where I go through all 24 factions and talk about their matchups, then that's 24 days. A daily video, 24 days of me just talking about that. Warhammer patches about once every 2 months. So that's 60 days. So almost half of my videos for the rest of time would just be talking about faction matchups, and that just feels really boring. That also feels like people get tired of that content quickly. So I don't know. The game just changes too much, and there's too many factors to keep up with something like that. It would just get outdated so quickly, and then it's not worth my time. If it was a one-time thing that would last forever, then it's more worth it, but it's too variant. That's weird. Kobe messaged me and said one of the games I cast on stream had a different result than the actual in-game. That's weird. Okay. Alright. Okay. I don't know what to do. Alright, I'm hearing this Khorne versus Wood Elf round 4 is very close. I'm hearing this one's pretty close, but it might be the same one. I don't know. Let's grab these replays. How's round 4 doing? Is he doing okay? Hey, Charismatic. Okay, round 3 is entirely done. Round 4 is down to 1 game. Cool. So I'm hearing a lot about an apparently good game. So it is 2 different games, because both these games we talked about. Oh, I'm not casting that. I absolutely refuse. No, that is terrible content. Hero Hammer with Felix healing them, 4 gyrocopters and an Ironbreaker box. Nope, fuck that noise. Ain't casting that. You can't make me. Alright, we're casting this one instead. Do we have a winner already? No. No, Big JP's got to make 2 semifinals. We'll cast those live. And then final will also be live. So we'll have 3 live games at some point. What up, Grismatic? Dude, I'm not fucking casting Dwarven Hero Hammer and Sky Cheese in the same game. I hate it. Dwarves can eat both my nards. Alright. For this replay, between Getsmane and Zero, we have Eternal Guard with shields, 5 of them, forming like a little pentagram. 2 Glade Guard Starfire Shafts, Firebark Elders, other Treekin, Durthu, Zotes, Branch Wraith, and some Blade Singers. Okay, it's a tight formation. I do worry again with the tight formation like we talked about with the very first game of the day. The Glade Guard aren't Thunderers, so they won't have as big of an obstruction issue, but I do wonder if it's pretty easy to compromise them, because with the formation being so tight, like, a Minotaur or 2 is going to spill over and start disrupting these guys. For the outside, Khorne is hard rushing these fools. Triple Minotaur, a bunch of Marauders. We have 2 Chaos Knights, Valkia the Bloody, and a Skull Cannon in the background that is currently having issues firing up and over a hill into the Wood Elves, so a lot of the shots are just hitting that hill. I'm a little concerned for the Khorne build, but we'll see how it goes. The Wood Elf front line should not last very long. Marauders of Khorne do have very high damage potential. They just also take a lot in return, but the Wood Elves aren't very good at dealing damage back, so they'll die pretty quickly. Mino's starting to get through that front line, charging into the Zotes, taking the fight quickly, though Durthu is here to dissuade that type of behavior. He does get down a very nice 3-person Flock of Doom. Then in comes Chaos Knights. Charging on the Blade Singers should actually do a lot of damage. Blade Singers are not charge defense. Skull Cannon, get your shit together! It finally got over the hill, but it hit its own Chaos Knights. Anyway, Blade Singer's going to take a lot of damage to Chaos Knights. It's a really good trade for Chaos. And we can see there are Eternal Guard back here, but with this super tight formation, like, the archers don't really have anywhere else to go either. So even though they're next to melee units, they're still getting disrupted. Minos are trashing the Firebark Elders right now. And Valkia goes to fight Durthu and the Branch Wraith, so she's in a 2v1, and she's losing it pretty badly. Does need to opt out of here. Can't keep fighting Durthu. He's a little too spooky. He took some nerfs, but the nerfs weren't enough for that kind of behavior. Sword of Daith out to disrupt this blob in the back. So Little Archers are still on the back foot. Khorne has captured the point. Khorne has gotten to a lot of engagements, and Khorne has gotten a lot of kills already. Not that there's that many kills to get, but I saw a Horn of Khorne popped. He probably already has another Horn of Khorne, though it is on cooldown, but another Horn of Khorne available. Also probably has a tier 2 armor ability, so I wonder what he's going to use them on. I don't think he's going to get a Sword of Khorne in time to make it useful. There's not a lot of models to kill, so by the time you kill him, Sword of Khorne has less targets by default because you killed everything that you could have Sword of Khorne. So I don't think this is going to be a Sword of Khorne game. Durthu is going to be problematic. I really don't know how Khorne's going to deal with him. If you get into a late game situation where he's completely alone and then you surround him with Minotaurs, he'll take good damage, but looking at the Minos currently, they're also suffering quite a bit of attrition, and we aren't even to the point where they get to fight Durthu yet. Treekin trying to hold these guys back. Zotes are counter-dueling against them to get some damage out as Valkia tries to help clear out these guys so that the Minotaurs are still healthy enough to fight Durthu in the late game. That is your only hope. Chaos Knights, Chaos Warhounds, Marauders will do all literally nothing to Durthu. We saw how it was going for Valkia earlier, and that answer is not great. So she can't kill him. It is down to the Minotaurs killing Durthu in the late game. And so it's getting Earthblood. Try and stay in the fight. Durthu waddles in, hits Valkia in the back of the head again. The Minos are getting pretty low. The last hope for Khorne is these Minotaurs over here, but they're currently stuck on Treekin and really not getting through those guys too quickly, as they are not attacking. They are just standing there staring at the Treekin. I wonder if they have orders. I think they might have movement orders past them, but they really just swing at the fucking Treekin. Just kill him. Valkia is almost dead, running away from Durthu. The Wood Elves are routing in every direction. Now the Treekin took some damage. I wonder if the Minos are finally attacking him. Yes, they are. Some of them are. There's this guy who's just been standing here for a while. So Treekin survived longer than you would think just due to random jank. I don't know if the player gave the Minos movement orders or attack orders they couldn't complete because the Treekin were in their way or something, but that was awkward. Durthu is getting to the situation where he could actually get dragged down, though. He's running out of people to stand around at his feet. Marauders have got to finish cleaning out that last Dryad as the Minos are here trying to get some damage done. Another Horn of Khorne is out to give him more melee attack, but melee attack isn't their problem right now. It's going to be leadership. As soon as they're... I guess they can't get terror out of their ITP since Blood Greed exists. Alright, good for you, Minos. You stay in that fight. There we go. Dryads are routing. Still have some Zotes and Treekin in the distance, the Firebark Elders. Khorne is up in the balance power. I am still very suspect and scared. Suspect and scared. I don't know if Khorne can finish off Durthu. Durthu can finish off Khorne. I don't know if Khorne can finish off Durthu. Another Sword of Daith is down onto all these units. Big damage, even onto the Minotaur. That is still healthy. I believe we'll have a follow-up Flock of Doom soon, and yeah, ooh, we still have a Branch Wraith with Earthblood, so she can heal Durthu, making him even Durthu-ier. The healthy Minotaur is coming out here to help Valkia clean up this last pocket. She needed Relentless Rage to stay unbroken. That's tough. It sucks to use your army passive on that kind of thing just to bail Valkia out of a bad situation. You probably would have wanted Horn of Khornes to try and help just cleave down Durthu over time. Still has 47 melee defense, which is not nothing. Firebark Elders standing against the Minotaurs and Valkia. Not for too much longer. They will get bullied quite heavily by... Can you stop friendly firing people? That hit Valkia. I saw her health go down. Whatever. Everything's cleaned up besides Durthu and the Branch Wraith. Branch Wraith probably wants to use Last Winds of Magic healing up Durthu, though honestly Flock of Dooms are also solid, so never mind. There's no wrong answers here. Valkia is riding away. 1 second. Next is semis. Got it. We'll have some semifinals and finals live after this replay then. Durthu and the Branch Wraith try and get to the point. She is going to start healing up Durth. And they'll try and capture this back. Single entities have some capture weight, not a lot, as Khorne is trying to pile on here. You can see it's going back in Khorne's favor. Valkia, I don't know if you should get in there, because if you die, Khorne's leadership's going to fall apart. Valkster. Valkster Chief, please retreat. Please. No, not like this. Valkia. There we go. She takes a hit from the Branch Wraith and then retreats. In comes the healthy Minotaurs, the last hope of Khorne. Durthu is still capturing the point, even though he's a single entity. He has so much HP left, and Khorne is suffering on HP that they've lost capture weight all over the board. Valkia dives back in to try and distract Durthu as Marauders are all terror routing away. They'll come back in a second, but we'll see if that even matters, as Valkia hasn't technically landed yet, so Durthu can't hit her. All right, little miracles. The Branch Wraith might rout someday. She's ITP, so she's not going to terror out or anything, though I don't know if anybody here causes terror. Quick Melkoths onto the Minos to make sure that they specifically take the damage. But she is getting super low. She could route. That would leave Durthu all alone. No more healing. Skull Cannon's here. Skull Cannon's doing stuff. Shoots point blank range into the Branch Wraith. Actually gets decent damage out. Does friendly fire the dogs, but okay, we take those as other dogs charge in. Fire fades away just in time. Durthu's trying to hit Valkia, but he can't quite do it. He's now surrounded by Minotaurs. He's getting dragged down. Bounce power's getting worse and worse. But there comes the terror outs. Everybody's starting to flee. Durthu really needs to focus on those Minos. He can kill the entire army if he just hits the Minotaurs. Durthu! Durthu, swing! Swing, Durthu, swing! Not with the Skull Cannon. Fuck the Skull Cannon. Who gives a shit about the Skull Cannon, Durthu? Focus up! Focus up! Flock of Doom on everybody. We'll see whoever doesn't have terror out resistance left retreating. Valky's not actually on the ground, so you can't swing at her, but he is presenting his back to a bunch of Minotaurs. Swing at the Minotaurs! Please! Who cares about Marauders? Just spam click on the Minos! Durthu, they're beating you to death! Durthu, fight the Minotaurs! Please! They have axes. You're a tree. This is simple math. Kill the Minos. Now he's fighting the Chaos Knights, which, okay, but still, who cares? You have Minotaurs chopping down your legs. Durthu's gonna get army lost. That's GG. Some unfortunate target selection there in the late game from Durthu. He needed to just get spam clicks onto the Minos, clear them out, then turn, kill Valkia if she ever truly landed. If she didn't, then just fight Marauders forever. But he allowed the Minotaurs on his back for too long, and they did insane amounts of damage to him. For Khorne, both the Minos with great weapons did great. The regular Minos struggled quite a lot. Marauders, pretty good value overall. Valkia did fine. To be fair, the Marauders would also have access, as do Knights. Lies and slander. Lies and slander. We've got one last one wrapping up. It is Anarian versus Nartenbur. Anarian's had kind of slow rounds so far, so I'm wondering how long that is going to take. All right. Checking on some things. Anarian's not quite ready. So let's start eliminating some stuff, because we have 3 games that are live, and after that we don't have to cast anything, so I'm just going to cast what I think is interesting. Felix, and is that Foot Fae? No, that's Horse Fae. I wonder why Felix is there. Anyway, Imric and another dragon versus Bretonnia. I can do without it. Chaos Dwarfs triple single entities. I can do without that. Not that it's terrible, it's just when I get to be picky about what I want to cast. A lot of Tzeentch Kite versus Malice, and then a lot of infantry. It's fine. That's fine. 4 Hawk Riders and Durthu and another Tree Man versus Dark Elves. That's okay. We just watched that one. Yeah, we just watched that one. I just didn't delete it. Okay. Lewin versus Malekith. That could be kind of spicy. And Tzeentch versus High Elves. That's a lot of Kite versus High Elves. I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah, and they have net. I don't know if that's gonna work. Okay, so we're down to these 5 replays of things we'll check out if the need arises. Round 4 is done, so it looks like semifinals is right around the corner. As I save this last replay from Nartenbur, and we see if I'm going to keep it on the list of things we might cast. That's triple Chaos Dwarf single entity. I refuse. I don't refuse. I already cast 1 today, but 1's enough. Close one replay was pretty cool if we have time. I just watched it back. I'm sorry if 2 Night Goblins swing summons were bans. I didn't know. Which close one replay? Was it the Dwarf Hero Hammer? Because I immediately fucked that one off. Yeah. Dwarven Hero Hammer plus Dwarven Sky Cheese equals a Human Boy pass. I'm just not remotely interested in casting such degeneracy. Because, like, that's the thing, is, like, something that I sometimes try to explain. Big JP's doing some admin stuff, so we're just hanging out till semifinals for a second. But before, like, people get on my case about the dwarf stuff and the single entity stuff with the Chaos Dwarfs, and if you're like, wow, Human Boy's just being toxic, he only likes games where both armies just run at each other and get into melee, and that's it. No, I like other things. The problem with the single entity spam of Chaos Dwarfs and with the Dwarven Hero Hammer / Sky Cheese is there's one of two options, and neither option is good. Either the Dwarven Sky Cheese wins, and we're subjected to a long game of watching gyrocopters just shoot things in the back while Dwarven Hero Hammer churns through them, and then it chases off anything that routes the gyrocopters do in the sky. Or the gyrocopters fuck up and either land in melee or sit still in front of archers or get rampaged to the ground, and then they die instantly and the Dwarven player looks like an idiot. So either we embarrass the Dwarf player, or the game is really boring. Same with the single entity spam of the Chaos Dwarves. Either we have to watch 3 single entities psycho-charge their way to victory, or the Bale Tauruses land in a bad situation, or someone brought range damage to deal with the Chaos Dwarf train and it dies instantly, and then the Chaos Dwarf player looks like an idiot. So it's just like, it's just not going to be good content. And that's why I skipped those ones. I've watched enough of them in my time to be like, alright, I get the gist. 2 Bale Tauruses and a Chaos Dwarf train go choo-choo. Got it. Dwarven Sky Cheese goes pew-pew. Got it. Understood. There's not a lot of complexity there. There's not a lot to talk about. There's not a lot to watch. Tzeentch vs Dark Elves is very close. Okay. We might. I've been told by the tournament organizer to not cast another replay and wait for the semifinals. That'll be live in a second. Okay. So we have Kobe, Twist, Anarian, and Impenetrable are our finalists. Is that... What's their order? What's their order? Bracket is live here. I don't see a bracket there. Oh, he sent the wrong link. Got it. Alright, so what's our bracket? Desktop. Not that one. Other display, you fool. This one. So we'll have Anarian versus Matas and Impenetrable versus Masked Twist. Cool. Impen. Matas and Anarian. Make your builds and be ready. We'll be there soon. All right, let's do this. Finger crossed, no lag. Watching dwarves perish embarrassingly sounds pretty good. Not for that player, though. Like, the dwarf player might feel bad if they get wrecked. I don't try to cast things where people get wrecked. Boop. We're here. Oh, we're here. Okay. We're waiting on Impenetrable to arrive. I don't know what faction he was playing. We've put everybody on stream who sent in replays, so we've probably seen this person, but I'm guessing their Steam name isn't the same as their Discord name. Khorne been very popular today. Hasn't Twist's been taking Scarbrand a bunch, right? I'm trying to remember, because there's two Khorne players. One was playing a lot of Valkia, the other one was playing a lot of Scarbrand and stuff. Because we had the Khorne mirror match, and it was Arball versus Scarbrand. Well, chat, there's a concept called skills fade, and it's where your skills fade over time if you don't use them. I know, shocking. It's hard to believe, hard to understand such a complicated concept. But I have been casting a lot of replay streams recently where it's just game back to back to back. And I used to be good at filling time. Stalling. Waiting for live games to start. And that skill is gone. So shid. Looks like Impenetrable has been our high elf player. I'm guessing his name was Perry Riposte on Discord? No, because his name is Impenetrable on Discord. What? There are two high elf players? Have I not seen him before? I don't know what this is. I don't understand anything. I'm leaving to grab a sparkling water instead of talking to you degenerates. This is semifinal number 1. We'll hop over to semifinal number 2 right after this. The second wait should be much shorter because those players should be in the lobby now making their builds, so literally as soon as we join, they'll hit start. I will return when I feel like it. Which is never... I'm back. We keep our drinks in the basement fridge, so it's literally right outside my office. Wouldn't the dwarf just walk under the bar? Yes. Oi. Man, you know what sucks? Omens of Destruction was already not a very hyped DLC. As far as DLCs go, there are a lot of people who are kind of meh on it. And then the trailer came out, and the trailer was kind of meh. Like, I had some hot takes on the trailer, and I kept them to myself, but since we're just filling time here, that trailer was the worst trailer I've ever seen in my entire life. I hated it. If you liked it, that's fine. But, see, here's the thing, is was it a bad trailer on its own? No. But when you compare it to every other CA released trailer, and CA trailers are usually fantastic, like the Curse of the Vampire Coast, trailer, fantastic. Shadows of Change, trailer, pretty good, pretty darn good. The Changeling running around fucking with things, Brother Ostankia leading an army of wild things into Kislev and burning stuff down, that was pretty hype. Even Harry Hammerstorm's little short was awesome. The Immortal Empire's announcement trailer. They're all so good. And then this one was just like, I don't know. Here's some campaign zoom-in shots of the people on the campaign map, and then their battle thing. You can barely see any of the new units. It's just the Lord walking slowly forward and, like, pointing. And, like, behind him you can see some of the new units kind of barely. And then that's it. And it was just kind of meh. So people were meh in the DLC races. Which is weird. I would have thought Greenskins Khorne Ogre would have brought in more hype, but apparently not. So people weren't hype on that. The trailer wasn't very hype. And then the DLC units were a little underwhelming, where it was mostly just Lords and Heroes. There weren't a lot of multi-entity models. I've talked about that on stream before, but like if you break down, I think out of the like 28 new units total, that's just a rough guess based off my memory. Isn't it like 16 new single entities and 12 new non-single entities? It's kind of whatever. So that was all pretty tough. And then to have the launch, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. They made some cool balance decisions with the chariots. And then to have this bug, this game-breaking bug, which we're currently on a mod to avoid, but to have a game-breaking bug that ruins all monstrous infantry and some cavalry, you're like, God, this just sucks. Like, it's very hard to get hyped about this, and I am still hyped about it, but like, it's difficult, you know? Or it's like, overall, is this a net negative? No, DLC is never a net negative. It's just stuff getting added to the game. And as much as Shadows of Change and Thrones of Decay added some broken shit like the Thunder Barge and the land ship and stuff, like, do I wish they hadn't happened? No, because DLC always brings people back to the game. It always brings viewership up. It's always great. It's objectively a good thing. And same with the Omens of Destruction. My viewership is still way up. Player counts on our Vermilion ladder still way up. Like, it's up, but it's not as up. And it's hard to be, like, really hyped about it when I feel like all the announcements keep stumbling, you know, like, fuck yeah, guys, let's go, new trailer. Okay, the trailer was kind of mid. Fuck yeah, guys, let's go, new units, let's check out the new units. Okay, the units are kind of mid. Fuck yeah, guys, the patch is live, let's do this. Never mind, there's a game breaking bug. You're just like, can I please get some part of this DLC that is just pure hype, no stumbling stone? I don't like stumbling over these things. What are the three things you notice first when you're like, yeah, this one has potential? Fun units that people don't normally take in sweaty tryhard tournaments are always fun. Even in, like, if a game is one-sided but it has really cool units, that's always pretty fun. If the armies aren't meta armies, like if people are taking, you know, C and D tier factions, that's pretty helpful as well. And then probably cool lord selections. Like, sometimes I'll just pick one if it's like Tzeentch versus the Changeling. I'm like, well, I want to see that. So those are three things. Another thing that kind of blows is I every DLC, my tier list, my faction tier list, where I get some guests on and talk about the factions, those videos always do very well and get a lot of subscribers. But I can't do a tier list because I'm not gathering any useful data right now. The game-breaking monster splash attack bug so fundamentally interferes with how you can get a feel for how matchups go and how a battlefield is flowing, because an entire unit type is missing, that I can't gather any data right now where I'm like, oh man, the high elf ogre matchup is very high elf favored, but then like if all gorgers and ogre bulls are underperforming, then that changes how you feel about things. So my DLC tier list is going to be delayed because I have no idea what tiers anything falls in, since anything monstrous is fucked up. So yeah, it's frustrating. But I've stalled. I've regained the ability to stall, and we are now into the army setup. For the High Elves of Impenetrable, we have Tyrion, a staunch line of spears, 2 Lothern Sea Guard, some Silver Helms, the Fireborn. On our Regiment's Renowned top 10 list, they made it into number 2, and I do not regret that, seeing how much we've seen them today already. Omen of Assyrian, and then the Mage of Fire with Piercing Bolts of Burning, interestingly enough, and Burning Head. On the other side, for Twist and Khorne, we have 4 Skirmish Cav. We have the Arwar Skull Cannon for the first time today. 4 Marauders of Khorne, 2 Skull Crushers, Karanak to try and harass the enemy caster, and Valkia the Bloody. This is semifinals, best of 1, elimination. Previously it's been Swiss, so there's been low pressure. You know, people want to win their games, but if they lose, they're not out of the tournament. This is elimination. Whoever loses this game is out. Whoever wins goes to finals. Easy peasy lemon squeezy stakes. Skull Cannon is going to do so much damage to High Elves. They're crazy clustered, so the Skull Cannon does extra damage to them. Half HP off those guys. Yeah, one volley took almost half their HP. Rip Spearman. To try and mitigate that, Impenetrable could make his lines as thin as possible. See how they're still kind of in that, like, not square. It's definitely rectangle, but there's multiple layers. You probably want to draw them as thin as possible so that there's not nearly as much penetration. The Forgotten, I hope your surgery went well. Sounds like if you are recovering, then it went well. Oof, another volley onto those spearmen, pushing them back. Dogs would be cool. Oh, dogs of war, get burned in the bounty hunter and stuff, yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. Silverhelm's getting in a brief fight in the distance with the Horsemen of Khorne. I want to keep eyes on the new Skull Cannon so y'all can see the damage it's doing in the background, but Silverhelm's trading about even with these Marauder Horsemen. I think they're throwing their throwing axes in melee, while the Omen of Asuryan gets these guys to rout anyway with its terror. Again, fire resistance, physical resistance, and ward save. It is extremely tanky against the throwing axes of these Khorne warriors, but Karanak doesn't seem to care too much for that. Hops right in on the Omen of Asuryan, Valkia diving down too, and now the Omen has overextended. It realizes it needs to get away. And these Lawven Seaguard are probably the next target of Skull Cannon. No. It is these Lawven Seaguard that is the current focus of the Skull Cannon. Elves are not enjoying their time hanging out with the Hellforged Bellows. Oh, now it's shooting at this guy. Yup. Yup, yup, yup. Yep, 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 yep. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Things are going very poorly for the High Elves as they're just getting kited out by the Skull Cannon. I think you need some Reaper Bolt Throwers, or Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers in this case, to just keep that thing honest. That's what I've noticed fighting Khorne recently, is you have to take artillery of some kind, single entity targeting artillery. Because the Dwarven Cannon, I was facing the Skull Cannon when I was Dwarves on stream the other day, and like a single Dwarven Cannon kept that thing honest. It even killed it eventually. Here comes the Piercing Bolts of Burning to free up Tyrion, and they actually do really good damage if you're clustered, so if these Skull Crushers don't notice it's coming, because it's not a spell you're used to looking for, that is going to do a lot of damage to them. Yeah, beautiful cast there. Spear Slopnir in the background to get rid of some spears, but very, very good cast onto the Skull Crushers Khorne, taking out one of the two heavy cav that Khorne actually brought. As the Skull Cannon plus some Skirmish Cav try and finish off other units for the High Elves, these are incredibly stacked up guys. If these Marauder Horsemen can hurry up and get out of the way... They did not, though. Unfortunately, the Marauder Horsemen of Khorne blocked some of the shots from the Skull Cannon. And now, before everybody says the Skull Cannon is OP, it is very, very strong, don't get me wrong. But you're about to see it not do any damage at all. It already sucks versus Cavalry, and then the Fireborn have fire resistance too. But the High Elves are the worst possible target. Well, I guess best for the Skull Cannon, worst for the High Elves. Tight formation, low HP, low armor. This thing will crush them. But it doesn't do much damage versus Cav. Tyrion and the Omen of Asuryan hunting down this thing. Getting good damage out for now. The Skull Crusher, Skull thing? Yes, Skull Crusher. There's too many Skull things now. Skull Crushers do charge into the Fireborn. Getting a free charge on those guys is pretty huge, and these are the ones that were not killed off by Piercing Bolts of Burning. Though it looks like the Haster's moving in. I wouldn't be shocked if she tried the same trick again. I don't see why she wouldn't. Valkia is currently having to duel with these guys, and yeah, she's doing the same trick again. But did they learn? Did the Khorne player learn? Did Twist see it coming? They start to dodge now. They see it coming. But is it in time? Yes, because that spell is crazy long to wind up. There's a reason you don't usually see it. If it hits, it slaps, but it takes way too long to charge. Burning Head down the line is going to try and bail Tyrion and the Omen of Asuryan out of this fight. They are just trying to snipe out Valkia. The Fireborn did eventually get taken out, but still half HP off of one Skull Crusher. Killed another one. They did okay. They're not going to have the most value here, unfortunately, for themselves. High Elf Spearmen still trying to find a fight somewhere, and Lawven Seaguard are getting a couple shots off for like the first time in their lives before the Skull Cannon shoots them again, but it's trying to fire uphill and past its own Marauders. It really can't get a line of sight there, so that's just unfortunate. Something just died. I saw a blue-white flag. Well, sorry, a blue-white flag. A blue flag, which usually means something entirely died. But Tyrion and the Omen are right here, so I don't know what passed away. Might have been the last Fireborn model. Omen of Asuryan gets a nice little flame tornado. What is happening with me today? Tornado? Ugh. 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 Just fire me. Just kick me out of here. Whatever. Tyrion got his big heal. The Omen of Asuryan got a tornado off onto the skull crushers and did good damage to them. And High Elves actually still have got a lot of juice left. If the Omen gets good RNG, it'll heal itself quite a ton. Does it heal cap itself on the first thing? Oh, it can use that multiple times. That's how it heal caps itself. It's not one cast and it's done, but it does heal up quite a lot. The High Elves captured the capture point like 50 years ago. So they are currently getting a little bit of credit for that. Khorne will be able to take it in the late game. The High Elves are already running out of ground presence. It's mostly just Tyrion and the Omen of Asuryan. So we'll get Marauders walking at that point slowly. Marauder Horsemen and stuff too. But it is good to get those tickets up so that you aren't under pressure even quicker. Because if Khorne had captured it right now and they're at like 300 tickets, the High Elves need this game to go long if they're going to win. The Omen's got to get multiple heal cycles off. Tyrion's got to get his next proc of healing off. We got to wait for the Firecaster to get a couple more burning heads here and there to clear out Marauders. So you need some time. Ooh, I don't know about that burning head. You need the burning head to kill these two very healthy Marauders. You don't need the burning head to, like, tickle a skull crusher. That's not going to do any damage. But maybe it was just a one out of desperation, realizing that the caster was overextended. Marauder Horsemen easily run her down. They're going to get good damage out. And Karanak's walking over. Tyrion's going to cut him off. He does still have his net, right? He has one net left. He's trying to silence the Firecaster. And he uses the net on Tyrion to get away. I don't hate that. Yeah, that's solid. And it's good damage onto Tyrion, which is needed at this point. The Omen of Asuryan coming over to say hello. Make sure this lady stays safe. Karanak tries to dive in, but in comes the Omen. Its magic damage is taken away by Karanak's little collar. It removes all magic damage from nearby while Skull Crushers get a free charge onto Tyrion. Tyrion did not bring stand ground, feint to riposte, any of his melee defense buffs, so he is actually going to take a lot of damage here. With only 72 melee defense, only in quotations, but still. When he has feint and riposte, he's like nearly undamageable. Omen really needs a heal if the Hives are going to stay in this game. Tyrion got his second and final heal since he is heal capped at this point. Omen just dies. That is a disaster for Impenetrable. Really not going his way. At that point, he probably loses. Damn. Because if he had gotten that Omen heal, it also has a little blast it does. It would have killed off the Marauder Horseman, gotten back to full health, could have killed Karanak, and then maybe brought the game back, but as it was, just gets rolled. Can you say Master Necromancer? Yeah, easy. I think it doesn't help that I'm a little bit sick, so I got some phlegm. Tyrion did alright, Omen of Asuryan did alright, Fireborn still did okay, but the rest of the High Elves just got hard kited out, and then Silverhelms did Silverhelms things and sucked and died, which is usual Silverhelm fare. For Khorne, the two heroes did well, Skull Crushers did pretty fine, Throwing Axes, and the Hell Cannon, actually, the Hellforged Bellower's Skull Cannon, it did okay. Like, it did well in this matchup. It just around paid for itself, but its utility was insane, and it really forced the High Elf Archers back, so good job, little Skull Cannon. Kobe messaged me with their lobby. Let's get into our second semifinal and see who will join Twist in the finals. 1, 2, 3. We'll probably see their armies briefly, but the players should be ready to go at this point. They had an entire game to figure out just their armies, so we're here. With the Wood Elves and Dark Elves facing off. One of these two has to go fight Khorne. Wait, hold on. This is some shit. This is rigged. The semifinals was Wood Elves, Dark Elves, High Elves, and Khorne. Okay. I can see a conspiracy when one is laid out in front of me. You had 2 hernias from a workplace accident, 2 major repairs, but now I get to watch Warhammer videos all day long, so give and take. Hell yeah, dude. Nagash must be in some moment. Okay, so you guys are talking about DLCs. Skaven and Empire both have one more DLC. I don't know if they do. Maybe. They make a lot of money. I just don't know if there's, like, the will there. Okay. So I posted, I was just catching up on chat. I posted an entire video, but here are my real predictions for the DLC life of Warhammer 3. Here are my real predictions. There's two roads. One road is the next DLC will be Slaanesh, High Elves, Dark Elves. And that'll wrap up every Game 3 race getting at least one DLC. Because let's see, Ogres, Nurgle, Khorne, Kislev, Grand Cathay, Tzeentch already got DLCs. Slaanesh hasn't. So the next DLC will have Slaanesh in it. And then I think it would be cool, again, there's two routes. So this is route 1. It would be cool if it was High Elves, Dark Elves, and Slaanesh, because that makes lore sense. And High Elves and Dark Elves have kind of meh rosters, so some of their units could use reworks. Their campaigns are kind of meh. They're not the worst campaigns, but they feel a little dated. So they could use some more spice in their campaigns. They could use some more spice in their rosters, and they could use some reworks, especially the High Elves. We talked about this on stream recently, so I won't go into it too far, but like the High Elves need some reworks on how their single entities work, because dragons and phoenixes are pretty bad in general. Like, we're seeing the Omen of Asuryan a bit today, but that doesn't mean the other phoenixes are suddenly good. That doesn't mean Great Eagles are suddenly good. That doesn't mean standalone dragons are suddenly good. And like Imric or a caster on top of a dragon mount doesn't make standalone dragons good. So High Elves need some reworks on their single entities, and they could use some more variety in their infantry or cavalry areas. So I'd hope the DLC would give them better infantry and cavalry, and then like fix some of their single entities. Dark Elves have more width than High Elves do. They don't have as big of a problem because some more of their infantry work. The Dark Elves have a bit more width, so they need a little less, but they could still use some more single entities that don't suck. The Charybdis and the Hydra are niche at best. The Black Dragon sucks on its own. Again, as a mount, it's fine, but the standalone blows. Manticores have been struggling really hard since Warhammer 2, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But you could use some better single entities for the Dark Elves. Bloodwreck Medusas sucked, and then they got reworked until they were OP, and then they got re-nerfed back into being useless again. Dark Elves could use some more cavalry options. They could use some better war machines, like Scourge Runner chariots are really the only chariots you ever see out of them. Their Cold One chariots blow, and those are literally their two options. So some kind of cool chariot or war machine, some more artillery, besides just each... Actually, that's for each roster. Each roster has literally just a bolt thrower. That's it. So anyway, all I was trying to point out there is Slaanesh and the two elves would be lore friendly, and there's a lot of work to do. And then the next DLC could be Nagash, which would be Nagash as a 3-army lord. You could take him as Tomb King's Vampire Coast or Vampire Counts. And you could even do Undead United, like Demons of Chaos as Demons United. But anyway, you could do Nagash, Neferata. I don't know if the Tomb Kings have another lord in the bank, but you could just like make one up. And then Neferata's for the vampires. So for the Vampire Coast, you also might have to make one up, because they already made up a lot of stuff for the Vampire Coast. But we're missing Abarash. So you could do, like, you know how they did Arbol and Skulltaker in this one? You could do Abarash and Neferata. I don't know. So there's that. And then there'd be no more DLC with that avenue, and they'd move on to a different game. The other avenue I think is more likely, but it's less lore friendly, but it is more likely, is the next DLC is Slaanesh, Vampire Counts, and X. I don't know who X is, but the Vampire Counts need a lot of love, so you could do... I don't know the Slaanesh lore that well, so I don't know their lords, but like... Vampire Counts need Abarash, they need Neferata, they need the Von Karstein main lord, I forget his name now. Something the Ever-Living. It's Zacharias. Zacharias the Ever-Living. They don't have him. They don't have something called the Nameless that was featured in the End Times pretty heavily. So they're missing a lot of those lords, and their unit roster has been so fucking small and terrible this whole time. So probably something like that. You could do Nagash as a Tomb King's lord, if you wanted to add a third lord there, a third faction. But Beastmen, Wood Elves, or DLC factions that have gotten DLCs. So I don't think the Tomb Kings or Vampire Coast. I don't think those are lost causes for getting a DLC. And both the rosters are really small. I don't know. Actually, Slaanesh, Norska, and Vampire Coast could be possible, because Norska really needs an update. Give Norska a DLC, they need more walking speed. Fucking true. Tomb Kings and Coast just get touch-ups. Maybe, dude. But, like, being a DLC race doesn't mean you get more DLC. Ogres were a DLC race, and they just got DLC. Wood Elves and Beastmen were DLC races, and they got more DLC. So Norska and Chaos Dwarves are two DLC races that really need more units. Both those rosters are incredibly small. Vampire Coast and Tomb Kings also need more. This game is supposedly an adaptation of Warhammer something 8th edition. That's true, but like, isn't the Vampire Coast entirely made up? I thought they took serious liberties with that whole roster. Like, isn't Celastra unique to games, to Creative Assembly? I don't think she was on tabletop at all. Skaven DLC. As much as I'm a Skaven fanboy, and they need Thanquol and they need Storm Fiends. Skaven have pretty much everything else. I don't think a whole DLC is worth it. Honestly, if I was Games Workshop, not Games Workshop, CA, I would just do a free LC Thanquol as part of like whatever DLC Nagash is a part of, and just do like an End Times DLC or whatever, and like put Thanquol in as a free LC. But Skaven don't need a whole nother DLC. They don't really have the units for it. And there are so many rosters that need way more units than the Skaven do. Like, it's crazy. Being a Skaven main, when I flip over to play like Tomb Kings or Norska, I'm like, what the fuck? Where are all my units? This whole roster can fit on one screen. This sucks. So I don't know. But you know, maybe I'm just a dreamer who puts health of the game over fanboy, and nobody else does that. Maybe I just need to fanboy harder. I don't know, but I refuse to give up on the health of this video game. Don't forget Ska, brother. We need Ska. It'd be fun. It'd be fun. I think all of Norska and all of the Tomb Kings and all of the Vampire Coast need more units, more than Skaven needs Ska Bloodtail. All right, but I've stalled for long enough. We are into game 2 here, second semifinal. Kobe versus Anarian. For Anarian, we have an Eternal Guard front line with kind of a weird box in the back. A 5th Eternal Guard, some Dryads, some Wild Riders to make a bit of a box. 5 Glade Guard. Durthu in the middle with Flock of Doom and Sword of Daith. Oh, Durthu nerfs. We hardly knew ye, because it was not nearly enough, and he's still going to be in every single Wood Elf game. I guarantee it. Then we have 3 Glade Riders with bows, 1 without. On the other side, for the Dark Elves, Dark Riders, Coldwind Knights, and the Crows of Cain to do a bit of disruption. We do have another repeater crossbow. It looks like 2 of them this time to hunt down Durthu. The Hellebronai, Bleak Swords, a single Dark Shard, Malice Darkblade, and a Melkoth's Caster. Melkoth's is out as the Glade Riders try and shoot the Dark Rider Peter crossbows. The Wood Elves are generally okay trading. I mean, if they actually did damage, but it looks like the trees protected these guys a little bit. But if you could trade 2 Glade Riders for these 2 Dark Rider Peter crossbows, that's worth it for you just because you can get to a hyper late game where Durthu isn't getting shot by armor-piercing shots. With this DLC, CA proved that it has access to the End Times content, and End Times Skaven received a bunch of Vermin Lord variants and special Vermin Lord characters for DLC. Maybe I'm just jaded, but I'm not really excited about another DLC that's mostly single entities. Like, that's just not my... It's not my vibe. I wish this DLC had switched its order, where it was like 40% single entities, 60% multi-entity models, whereas this one was 60% single entities, 40% multi-entity models. Bit of a skirmish phase. Dark Elves are slowly getting into range, but 5 Glade Guard are going to easily outshoot 1 Dark Shard, even if it is shielded. So I think the Dark Elves are going to hurry up and get in melee. As Dark Riders chase the Glade Riders, not able to really make contact there, and these guys get to safety while archers just peel back. And the shields on the Dark Riders don't help when they're running away, so this is actually going to be a very painful retreat. Losing a third of their HP, maybe down to half as that final volley is coming out. Yeah, just around half. Elsewhere, the Dark Elves are out skirmishing the Wood Elves. Pretty good dodging here from Kobe. Dealing with that easily enough. Dark Elves have the point. Wood Elf box couldn't quite get up to it, so now the Dark Elves have all the time in the world to delay this game. A Flock of Doom Overcast plus more shots from the Glade Guard going to push away the only Dark Shard. And the Wood Elf box stands while Malice just kills off some more Glade Riders. Overall, the Dark Elves doing fine in the early game. Damage value favors the Wood Elves, but I'm suspect of that. There's been several bugs noted with how damage works. And the Glade Riders are all taking enough damage that is more than supposedly 600 gold damage value. Checks notes, Glade Riders are not 300 gold apiece, so something about that ain't right. Melkoth's onto the Wild Riders, so yeah. That damage value is something's off with that. I don't trust it. As Wild Riders are getting bodied by a Melkoth's right now. And this is really bad. This is the first mistake from the Dark Elves I've really seen here, as these Dark Rider Peter crossbows get in a pissing contest with the Glade Guard, and that is one they will always lose. Pushed away, and now melee Glade Riders are running out to meet them, but there are some Coldwood Knights that were held in reserve that can quickly come up and try and punish them. But unfortunately, they end up behind the Glade Riders, which is a problem because Glade Riders are significantly faster and can just outrun these guys ad nauseum. Wild Riders thought about running out to help, but then decided against it. The Dark Elf front line is currently getting slammed, and Mal's going to have to find something to do soon. Looks like he's going to try and disrupt Glade Guard, but Durthu is coming over to say hello while Wild Riders rout away the Dark Riders again. Looks like this time the Dark Riders are not going to run away. They will just take the charge and die. So it's a very tough time to be a Dark Elf here. Malice has popped the blood price. He's trying to fight it out, but Durthu will beat him. Will he beat Malice 2.0? I don't know. Probably not. Things are going poorly for the Dark Elves. Poorly, poorly. In the distance, Glade Riders do get run down by the Cold Knights. Looks like they will go off the map, but one of the repeater crossbows went all the way to the edge. The other one can come back. 38 out of 60 models, still decent DPS left. As Durthu uses both of his blob punishment tools, Flock of Doom and Sword of Death, quickly getting rid of the Coldwood Knights and these Bleak Swords, and even the Dread Spears are close to routing. Mouse down to half HP. That's looking brutal. The Wood Elves still have 4 archers very healthy. Good amount of ammunition left. The Hellebroni have been forgotten in the low ground. Kobe gonna be sad he forgot these guys. The elite spears ROR, just kind of down in a ditch. Dryads are trying to take the conquest points. The Dark Elves can't delay the game out and try and win that way. Crows of Cain in a fight with the Wild Riders and Dryads. Doing decent damage there is a full health Cold Knight is joining the fight. That should quickly turn the tides of this little enclave, but yeah, that's not great. 4 Glade Riders lighting up the Coldwood Knights. Shield's obviously going to be facing the wrong way because they're busy fighting the Wild Riders and whatnot. And then a Flock of Doom over the top just to add insult to injury. And I believe we'll probably have TK and Arian going to finals. Fight against Twist. I don't know how the Dark Elves turn around from here. Mouse is going to transform soon into Zarkan, and that'll help us balance power briefly. But briefly is the key word there. There's just not enough strength left in the Dark Elves to truly carry this game. 1 healthy Coldwood Knight. A healthy Hellebroni, Zarkan gonna be popped, and a Melkoth's caster versus 4 super healthy Glade Guard, healthy Glade Rider, full health Durthu, a bunch of Eternal Guard and Spears still running around. I mean, that's just not right. Malice exploded into blood for literally no reason. I don't know what that was about. I'm confused. He needs to transform soon or he's gonna get army lost. Flock of Doom is out on the Cold Knights. He does transform into Zarkan, so he appears back there. And there's Reaper of Souls and Bloodstorm. Really good damage onto all of these archers. And the bounce power, you see, took a massive swing into the Dark Elf's favor, but still not even to 50% yet. And that's before Zarkan takes any damage. Durthu thought about dueling him, but instead opts out. He's just going to walk towards the Coldwood Knights. I think it is difficult to truly just let Malice kill himself. His damage per second hasn't really scaled into game 3 that well, so it's like it's there, but it isn't that meaningful. Malice still lasts, I think. If you just let him bleed out on his own, I think he'd last like 15 minutes. So you do need to do some damage. I would actually like for Durthu to come in here and just duel that guy. Really whack him down. Looks like he's not going to. Blade Guard instead, going to try and get rid of any support. They're just going to leave Malice all alone into the late game. Wood Elves do have the point, so not really pressure for time. Helibroni killing Eternal Guard, nice and slow. Fighting an uphill battle, but their Regiment Renown stats help them quite a lot. And Durthu just wants nothing to do with his arcane, man. He's just walking away. It's not his problem. Some of the Wood Elf archers are setting up a firing line. I wonder if they're going to shoot at Sarkhan and get a good volley on him. These other ones are just shooting at the Helibroni for now, killing off those guys. We know the damage value is fraudulent, but I don't know if it's 3,000 fraudulent. I do think the Wood Elves are pretty ahead on balance of power there. Some elves are shooting at the caster, who is going to keep dodging them. They have precious little ammunition as it is. It should probably be spent on the Helibroni, who are a guaranteed hit, or Malice, who's a worthwhile hit. I think even if you hit the Sorceress of Shadows, it's not going to be worthwhile. Her HP doesn't matter at this point as long as she stays in the game, which it looks like Kobe's dodging is plenty fine enough to make sure she doesn't die. Leadership gets pretty low. Maybe the Glade Riders can chase her down. They do have a little bit of ammo, and it's much harder for her to dodge at this close range. So yeah, they actually get a couple hits off onto her. Maybe get her to rout, but not quite. And a Melkoth's is going to rout them instead. Colton Knight's going to charge in, try and peel for her. Yep, they do. Success, but barely. Mouse is still grinding away. Durthu chucks out an Overcast to Flock of Doom on the Helibroni. That was risky. Because you don't want overcast damage on Durthu. He's your win condition at this point. His HP versus Malice is all that really matters for you. You know what I want for a DLC? Boris Todbringer and the Red Duke to be playable. I know it's an old take, and it's still true. Why the hell aren't they playable? They're already in this game. Just let me pilot them. I'd play Todbringer. I'd play the shit out of Todbringer. You know what'd be fun? A Todbringer, Elspeth, Karl Franz campaign with my friends. All of us back to back to back, so we don't have to find each other across the map. We just expand in different directions. Mindenheim goes north. Karl Franz goes east or west, either one. And Elspeth goes south. That'd be a great co-op campaign. Come on, give us Todbringer. Malice is trying to fight Durthu. Durthu's just walking away and letting his archers get whatever shots they can onto Malice. Wants to make sure to fight on top of Eternal Guard Spearmen. And now that Malice has caught him on top of the Spearmen, Durthu will turn and fight at last. No, he's just going to path away. Malice's heal cap has appeared. And more spears rush in. Committing 2 spears on top of him is going to be risky, though, because Reaper of Souls hits both, and Bloodstorm will honestly hit both, too, if he has that off cooldown soon. There it is. It's a lot of damage onto his spears. Malice gets some free healing there. His archers are still trying to hit him, and Durthu might want to just turn and fight. You can get really good damage out onto Malice. Sword of Daith lowers his armor, for all that matters. Durthu gets a good hit in. Malice is also getting his own good hits in, but there's no way he can kill Durthu and all these guys at the same time. Durthu's still trying to path away, still trying to just leave him in spears. Monkey King would probably be suited with the Cathay DLC. Yeah, I'm sure Cathay will get another DLC. I just hope that like all the factions that are suffering actually get DLCs before Cathay. Army loss is going to hit for the Dark Elves soon, but that doesn't matter because Sarkhan's unbreakable, so you have to actually kill him. And actually kill him, Durthu shall. See, Durthu didn't have to run from him. Durthu can just beat him anyway. There are the heroes that have not yet left, Warrior and Sorcerer, the Marked Beastmen, the Monster SE, and the rest. Yeah. I mean, Slaanesh has a ton of content they need to get. Durthu. 3,500 damage value on the old Durthster. Glade Guard got a lot of value. They were kept online for quite a while. Glade Riders did fine as well. Melis to Zarkblade. Got 2,200? Yeah, 2,200 value. Not bad. Not bad at all. He honestly has been struggling a lot more than that recently, so that's a pretty good game for him. Cold Knights had a terrible time. They didn't have any good engagements that they could really get. Dark Rider Pure Crossbows did okay in the early game, and then they got sniped out. It's GG. Order definitely needs more love. It's already getting too much chaos in the north. I know a lot of people that disagree with you about that, because the Order tide is unreal. But I do agree. There's too much chaos in the north. Like, we have a finals to get to. I'm just waiting for them to host a lobby. Oh, shut up. Show me the map. There's a lot of stuff in the north. So Arbol ended up in the north. Oh, Skulltaker's in Lustria. That's lit. That's actually cool. I have no complaints about that. Demons of Chaos. Daniel is up in the north. I already looked at Khorne. Norska's obviously in the north. Nurgle has 2 characters up in the north. Slanesh is in Ulthuan, that's good. Tzeentch has no one in the north, that's good. Then the Wars of Chaos. Archaon's in the north. Kolek is kind of in the north. Sigvald's in the north. Azazel's in the north. Festus is not. Valkyria's in the north, way over there, but still the north. Be'lakor is kind of in the north. Village is in the north, way over there. And I know the Chaos Wastes are chaos, I get that, but I do think there's too many Legendary Lords up there, because if you're in the south, you can run into... If you're in the south, you can run into literally Kairos. I think that's the only demon that's down here. Is Skarbrand down there? Yeah, Skarbrand's down there. Okay, you can run into Kairos Skarbrand. Kugath's here. Skulltaker's apparently here. Was there anyone up here besides Valkyria? No. So the Dark Elves might run into Nakari, might run into Valkyria, but that's about it. Cathay also is lacking some demons. It's not as bad as I thought. Going into that, I thought that would be a lot worse, so... Alright. They're decently spread out, but still, maybe a little too north focused. Did they fix the splash damage bug yet? CA has not. There's already a mod for it that we're playing on right now, but CA said they'll fix it next week. Chaos in the north has a huge battle royale, only the strongest come south, Luna. That's lore accurate, so maybe I should just shut my fucking mouth. Maybe I should just shut up. Boy, when will they do something with that massive group of islands in the southwest and the peninsula? Seems like a major potential place for new factions. Dude, I don't know. I don't know, man. Never? Alright, we gotta find our finalists. I don't know where they ended up. Twist sent me a code. Thanks, Twist. Let's get our finals going, lords and ladies. Wood Elves versus Khorne. This is the finals. This is it. If CA does, as they have done so far, some factions could receive units like free LC, especially useful for most completing armies that are only out 1 to 2 units or monsters. Yeah. Oh. My Golgfag campaign, both Arbol and Astragoth, was chilling for 80 turns, never declared on order, and let Azazel and Throt die. Yeah. Now, Grieven, that's kind of what I was responding to. What was his name? Yatharth. Order definitely needs more love. It's already getting too much chaos in the north. Yatharth, I think it's like chaos has a lot of lords and stuff, but in all of my campaigns, the Order Tide is always dominant. So I think people are like pretty suspect of giving the Order Tide any more help because even though they don't have a lot of lords, they just fucking steamroll everybody. Which, this is my frustration with civilizations. Again, we're stalling for time. This is the finals. The players are making their armies and whatnot. So I'm just talking about dumb bullshit. I'll stop talking about dumb bullshit when they get into game. But like, this applies to Total War, but bear with me. I played a lot of Civilizations 4, and then I played a little bit of Civilizations 5, and I haven't played Civ 6. But from what I've heard, it's still the same. I hate how certain strategy games scale with difficulty, where the AI don't make more correct mathematical decisions and don't manage their empires and armies even better. They just bullshit, and it really annoys me. And here's what I mean by bullshit is I play a lot of Civ 4, and I'll like, you know, I'm playing Egypt or something, and I settle all along the Nile River, and what is my capital? Is it Thebes? Cairo? I'm trying to remember because they always give you the historical capital first. Whatever, let's just say Cairo. I settled Cairo down on a floodplain river valley with wheat and sheep next to me. I get to 7 population before my population gets mad at me for it's like, it's overcrowded, meh! And I'm struggling to grow anymore. Even if I wanted to piss off my people more, I'm already like food capped and stuff. And then the AI will come in, settle a city next to me in the literal desert. Like, literal desert, no resources around. There's no oasis, there's no natural resources, there's nothing. And this city in the desert's like, turn 1 population, of course. Turn 3, 2 population. I don't know how they did that, but okay. Turn 4, 3 population. And like, I'm like, how did you grow 3 times in 4 turns? What? And soon, before you know it, that city will have 9 population, and if I try and declare war on them, it'll pump out a soldier every 2 turns. Where the fuck is that production coming from? Where's the food coming from? How is the city not pissed off all the time? Oh, because the code just says, well, it's hard difficulty, so each of your cities produces a unit every 2 turns. It doesn't matter what resources are around it. They just fucking cheat. And then also, like, you know, on the harder difficulty, it's like Germany and France hate each other. They're furious with each other. They're worst enemies. Also, they have like 3 trade agreements and keep swapping technologies back and forth. But Germany's pleased with me. They like me, but they won't trade alphabet with me because that technology is too precious. Oh, France, you want alphabet? Yeah, what up, fam? Here you go. Thanks for the pottery. So it's like the higher difficulties just makes everyone cheat a bunch. And I feel the same in Total War, where like I played a Karl Franz campaign recently. You can see it whenever I'm on my main menu. And watching Elspeth to my south is some shit. Like, she is just popping off, getting all these units for free. Her cities are so advanced, she has infinite money, and she's just lounging in excess and luxury. And I'm up here like, I have the Marienburg port and Altdorf, and I am conquering, and I am piss broke. Where are you getting all of this money? And she's just like, I don't know, but I just bought my 8th steam tank. Delicious. I'm like, where the fuck is this money coming from, lady? I want some. I have 2 of the best money-making settlements in the Empire. I am killing so many Chaos armies to get free money, and you're outspending me by like 1 billion. And I call up Thorgrim Grudgebearer, and he's like, I'm pleased with you, Madling, but we're not going to trade. I'm already busy trading with Elspeth, my best friend. I'm like, she hasn't done shit for you. Do you know how many Chaos Hordes I've headed off near Carrickadrin? So fucking many. You piece of shit. It's Memphis and Civ 4, gotcha. I know you have to have him fight Kazric, but send Toddy up north on a crusade. Yeah. Just cottaged out. Civ 4 AI cheating is pretty hardcore. Basically testing how good you are at optimizing your own build. Yeah. Watched recently a Civ YouTuber with Civ 6 deity buffs playing, and he dominated in about 100 turns. He played the tech tree before Christ. Whoa. Whoa! I really dislike how much Total War campaigns punish you for university. Always need 6+ recruitment buildings with limited build slots. Yeah, Bahrain, I also feel that. For sure. I know they want different buildings, and that makes sense, but you're right. It is a little too harsh sometimes. I think you could fix that by making global recruitment a little less toxic, where maybe if you're global recruiting... Dude, the real campaign stands are going to call me out for not knowing shit about campaign, but maybe if you had, like, global recruitment when you're near one of your own cities, not be nearly as punishing as, like... No. Here you go. The tier of the city you're next to decreases global recruitment cost down to 100%. So that doesn't make them free, but, like, bear with me. If you're next to a tier 1 settlement, you're going to have crazy high global recruitment costs because it's a pissant little shitty city, right? But then as it gets to, like, tier 3 and tier 4, now it's easier for, like, roads and ports to have been built by now, so you could get a steam tank shipped in pretty easily. So just pay for the steam tank and then for some of the shipping. And if you're next to a tier 5 settlement, it's like a flourishing city. It probably has a steam tank or two around, so your global recruitment should just be the normal cost of a steam tank if you're next to a tier 5 settlement. So then that could actually make your empire easier to recruit stuff around. Is that a good idea or a bad idea? Chat check. Global recruitment is so bad if you want to get units. I don't want to wait 4 turns for a tank. True. Okay, so maybe not the money, but, like, maybe the recruitment duration. I don't know. Is that a good idea that needs some tweaking, or is that just a shit idea and I'm an idiot? There's a ability change that does exactly that? Ooh! Anthony Caputo, love that. Makes it so you don't build mostly... No, remake. Maybe I didn't explain myself well, but, like, the building needs to be somewhere in your empire, right? For global recruitment. So I'm not saying the tier 5 settlement provides steam tanks. I'm just saying, like, if you have the capacity to build steam tanks somewhere, your global recruitment based on the tier of city, the province you're in, gets cheaper if you're near a big city, because they would probably have that thing from somewhere else in the empire, right? But if your empire doesn't have the capacity to build steam tanks, then none of your city's gonna have steam tanks. So it doesn't provide global recruitment. It provides easier recruitment of units you could have already recruited. What was campaign art nerd making up good ideas? I meant like just take your current global recruitment pool and just, if you're next to a bigger city, make it way cheaper and maybe less time. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying provide new units you didn't already have access to. It's just like, because I also don't want global cheesing where you're next to a tier 1 settlement and you're just like, I just got like 7 steam tanks in 1 turn. Like that's also stupid, and I get that. But I also don't want to keep building the same military buildings in every tier 5 settlement just so I can get fucking Empire Knights not near Altdorf. It gets really annoying. All right, no more campaign talk. I'm cutting it off because we have the finals here, and this is what we're actually here for. Yeah, Narime, that's fair. You know what? You bring up fair criticisms, and I accept your fair criticisms. But I do have to start casting this game now. But yeah, I am a campaign casual, so I will preface that as all my ideas are half-baked with no knowledge behind them. Twist is on Khorne, TK and Arian is on Wood Elves, and we're in the final game of this tournament. Who will win? Forsaken of Khorne frontline, very, very low melee defense, but high melee attack and fire damage, good versus Dryads and trees. Chaos Warhounds of Khorne, Fleshhounds of Khorne, a couple Minotaurs here and there, Scarbrand, and Karanak. Karanak is very, very good against Durthu because of that silenced aura. He can stop him from casting Sword of Dathan, Flock of Doom, and clearing out all your troops immediately. On the other side for TK and Arian, he went with 4 Skirmish Cavalry, the Glade Riders. They don't do that much damage, but they will offer a little poke here and there. Then we have 3 Treekin, 2 Eternal Guard, the Wardens of Sithril, Wildwood Ranger, ROR, Firebark Elders ROR as well. We have a Glade Captain in the sky on an eagle to provide constant free shots. We actually have 2 of them, and Durthu. I am suspect on Glade Captains. I think they are trash, and I think putting them on an eagle, which is also a trash unit, is not great. But I can kind of see it here. If they avoid Scarbrand's Rampage, you're just counting on the enemy not having a good Sky Force or good range capacity, and maybe you just sit there and shoot him all game. But I wonder if their weapon strength is even high enough to make it worth it. 238 missile strength with not a lot of armor piercing. Meh. I had them down to nothing but a gate and kind of forgot about them, and somehow they recruited already. But the cat came back? Yeah, dude. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad when stuff just starts recruiting like crazy. Like, nah, I definitely have money in buildings. I can for sure recruit stuff. And I'm like, you have nothing here. Go to hell. Yeah. All right. We're into game. The Forsaken frontline should crush these Eternal Guard. The only thing I'm worried about is I really don't want Twist to pile up 2 Forsaken here and 2 Forsaken here. He needs to have... These 3 Forsaken all need to directly fight their counterparts, right? Like boop, boop, and boop. And these guys have got to wrap around. Because if you sandwich in stuff, then you have twice as many models connecting. If you just clump them on top of each other, you're not doing any extra damage, and you are clustering up for Durthu to get better Swords of Dates and Flock of Dooms onto you. The Fleshhounds and Chaos Warhounds of Khorne are going after the Skirmish Cav, forcing them on their retreat, getting some decent damage out, but also just forcing them away from the front lines so they can't get that free damage out everywhere they go. Meanwhile, Overcasted Flock of Doom is already down, and man, the Wardens of Sithral having a bad time against those Forsaken. Wardens of Sithral, pretty good melee stats, but nothing like the 40 melee attack of Forsaken with a 40 charge bonus as well. Scarbrand is in here as well, doing some good damage here and there. Does he have his Rampage? He does have his Rampage. I wonder if he'll get close to anything that actually matters to Rampage. Some Treekin have come to help peel the dogs, but other Forsaken, a really nice wraparound here from Twist. They're not clustering up too much. They are maximizing their potential, and Durthu is silenced. He opted into that. He actually walked up to Karanak, but Karanak kind of needs to kite him a little bit. No, don't go too far away. Just stay next to him. Keep your Silence Aura on him so he just can't cast any more Flock of Dooms. Is he silenced right now? Yes. Karanak's he's gotta stay out of arm's reach of Durthu, but just hang around. Just annoy him. Just be real annoying. He's still barely in range. Still barely in range. He's risking it there, but he's in range. Alright, elsewhere, the Wardens of Sithral are entirely doomed. Treekin are also taking a lot of damage, and Scarbrand is now in a fight with Durthu, which looks cool, but should be heavily Scarbrand favored. Scarbrand does fire damage. Durthu is weak to fire, since he is a tree man. And the double Glade Captains are going after Karanak to stop his Silence Aura, which, how is the Silence Aura still affecting Durthu? There we go. I was like, it's the ring, isn't it? The ring is his Silence Aura? Durthu's been outside the ring forever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. Karanak's currently bullying the Glade Captains, who suck and are bad. They're also getting eaten by Minotaurs, and Minotaurs should be killing them pretty quickly, so I guess that doesn't make them suck and bad, but I still think they suck and they're bad. But the Glade Captains are trying. They're trying to snipe out Karanak. And they're doing okay damage to the Minotaurs right back. Karanak actually gets away. He gets over here to silence Durthu once again, providing that constant nuisance of an aura. And Scarbrand comes over to say hello to the Glade Captains. I think his Rampage is still on cooldown, so he can't just force them to stay on the ground, but he is still going to get good damage out of them. And Durthu waddles over to say, hey, how's it going, buddy? Balance of power is 50-50. Both sides have taken a lot of damage. Khorne is currently up on damage value, and I would definitely agree with that, just looking at the state of the game already. Everything that is not a Treekin is getting pushed off the battlefield, except for the Wardens of Sithral have 17 whole models. Wow, that is crazy. Karanak getting really close to demonic instability crumbling. Does manage to rally for now, and these Glade Captains, they got to be shooting. Oh, Scarbrand's going for it. He's trying to rampage it. Yeah, Scarbrand. He's like, hey, I see you trying to snipe Karanak. You stop that right now. Scarbrand rampages him to the ground. Misses the first shot on the Glade Captain. Durthu gets off a big overcasted Flock of Doom while he's not being silenced. Karanak's still taking some arrows. I love how the Glade Captain's shooting at Karanak while Scarbrand is literally in melee with you. Now that is some focus. But Karanak with a beautiful rear charge helps Scarbrand hunt down this Glade Captain and gets rid of him. Glade Captains will, well, one will rally. That one just got netted and murdered, so that's not going to rally. Unfortunately, their ability to sit in the sky and just pew-pew is not either being utilized or not worth it. I would vote not worth it, but also you could say that maybe they shouldn't have gotten so aggressive in melee. That is a fair criticism. It's fine. It's Durthu and Karanak. Not Durthu. If Durthu and Karanak run the same team, now that would be a hell of a pair, but no. Karanak and Scarbrand get back into the fight. Once again, they're silencing Durthu. But Durthu has a lot of HP left. Scarbrand's not exactly feeling great. 5,000 HP left for himself, but he doesn't have any of his damage buffs, which means it'll take him actually quite a long time to chunk through Durthu. He does have some help from Karanak and the Minotaurs, though Karanak is a little overcommitted, and as he continues to get hit, as he is surrounded as well, his flanks are unsecure, he's going to have a lot of leadership debuffs that'll all hurt him, but thankfully, for Khorne. The Treekin routed just that moment that Karanak was looking a little unsteady. Hey, I have a kitty. Hi, kitty. All right. Kitty cat is back. Glade Captain flying a little too close to the sun if Scarbrand has a rampage. As he paths out here, I wonder if he's getting in between them so that he can rampage on cooldown and drag that Glade Captain down into the dirt. I mean, it seems likely. The Glade Captain's just accepting their fate. They're trying to get a shot or two off onto Karanak and get him to Demonic Instability Crumble. Glade Riders are back and firing in. Durthu is still a centerpiece. There's the rampage as the Glade Captain lands. And Scarbrand's in. He's actually not even going to bother. He's just going after Durthu. He just wanted to get the rampage off so someone, somewhere could deal with the Glade Captain, even if it's not him. Karanak's coming in, probably for the rear charge. There he goes. Hunts down the Glade Captain. Glade Captain's dead. Durthu's getting pretty low, but so is Scarbrand. So is Khorne. And whoa, Durthu fell over? I didn't know that was possible. Okay. Learn something every day. Durthu, I remember a different game where I was yelling at you to kill the Minotaurs around you. I'm going to yell at you again. Kill them. Whenever Scarbrand isn't next to you, kill them. So Khorne keeping that silence aura alive. No Sword of Daiths, no Flock of Dooms. Does he even have a Sword of Daith? He has a Sword of Daith left, yeah, which he really wants, but he is going to die. Really good Khorne kiting, making sure Durthu didn't get nearly as much done. GG to Twist. Scarbrand is a reliable dog owner. Yeah, and he protected Khorne pretty good. Scarbrand and Khorne got a lot of value. I really liked the Forsaken. I do think they were very effective against the Wood Elves. And then a lot of dogs to just chase those skirmish cav around to make sure they don't do too much. So really, the whole Khorne roster came together, and every unit here did its job pretty darn well. Most of them getting their value back. It's nice. The other side, Durthu did well, as he does. I said what I was going to say about those Glade Captains, and I don't regret it. Skirmish Cav did okay. Treekin did not do great. GG. Congrats to Twist for the win. Good job, TK and Arian. Coming in second. It was a strong second. It is 3 o'clock. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. My voice hurts. I'm sick. Let's go through these, and I'll check out any ones I like absolutely have to see. I'm okay without that one. It doesn't look that bad. I'm looking for something that looks spectacular, otherwise I'm gonna end the stream. So that one looks fine. I did kind of want to see Malekith and Lewin. Okay, I kind of want to keep that one. I fucking love Nakai, so I kind of want to see that. Oh, but it's Ariel. Gross. Yuck. Gross. Disgusting. Whatever. I'll cast anyway. Tzeentch Dark Elves. I was told this one was really good. It has Malice versus a blue Firecaster. That's okay. A bunch of skirmish cav. I'm gonna skip it. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look phenomenal, and I'm very tired. Mangler Squig. Double Night Goblin Big Boss. Where's it? It has Doomdiver Catapults, though. And I do love yelling at chat about being wrong about Doomdiver Catapults. Okay, so we have 3 games left we'll cast. And I wasn't even going to cast this one, but I love yelling at chat about Doomdiver Catapults, because chat's always like, take the Doomdivers, they're so good. And I'm always like, fuck you, they're trash. And the chat's always like, fuck you, you're trash. Does Khorne have 3 legendary heroes now? Yeah, they have Skyla, and then that weird-looking Beastman guy, and then Khorne. Hey, Kyle, how you doing? Gorich is a Khorne Berserker. He doesn't count. Alright, for Twist versus Narime. Narime brought 3 Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, a Doomdiver Catapult, Orc Boar Boys, 3 of those, a front line of Night Goblins with Spinning Loons, and then Orc Boys. We have double Night Goblin Big Boss. Both of them have a Squig Summon. That's not tournament legal, but it's a new player tournament. People are pretty chill. So, he has been informed. We have Snagla's Death Thrower, Wurzag, with FG to get Brain Burst and Fist of Gork, and then 1 Mangler Squig. The other side for Khorne, we have Scarbrand, Minotaurs, 3 of them, and then a bunch of Marauders, some Forsaken, 1 Chaos Fury, 2 Chaos Furies, and those Chaos Furies are going in a little ham. They're trying to kill the Mangler Squigs while they're in their own troops. Doomdiver Catapult is firing away. Let me see them hit Scarbrand. Let's fucking go. Oh, they are missing horribly. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, who could have predicted this? This is insane. Sorry you're not feeling well. It happens. But the Mangler Squigs are gonna die in the middle of Orc Boys. Ah, let's go. Let's go. Double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. You take OP units and you get punished, and that's what you get. Anyone who takes Mangler Squigs should feel bad about themselves. Anybody who takes them is a bad person. Human Boy, didn't you take them? Shut up. Human Boy, people should be allowed to take the DLC units that they were excited about. Just because they're a little overpowered doesn't mean that they shouldn't play with them. Look at them. They look so fun. They look like they're having a good time. You can't blame somebody. Yes, I can. Yes, I can, because when I play with Mangler Squigs, I'm just creating content. I'm just a helpless content creator. That's all. I have to do it. I have to make the content. When you play with them, you're a bad person. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm very reasonable. I'm a super reasonable guy. My arguments are perfect and unstoppable. All right, Mangler Squigs is dead from a really nice Minotaur dive. I like that a lot, though, because he made sure he took the fight on his opponent's infantry and then just force targeted the Mangler Squigs over and over again so that they die and kill off the Orc Boys. That was actually really clever. I like that a lot. Scarbrand soloed out a Night Goblin Big Boss while we weren't looking, and Khorne ran straight through the Greenskin front line very, very quickly. But the Doom Diver catapult is back online, so anything is possible. All right, boys, fire at Scarbrand. Go. Shoot him. Kill him. Oh, shit. Oh. Missed him by that much. Missed him just a teeny bit. If anybody hasn't caught on, I'm just having some fun here. So that's actually allowed. It's allowed. Snagless Death Throw died off. They got some decent value though. I think people are too hard on the Goblin Bolt Throwers. As I unfairly constantly shit on the Doom Diver catapult, I'll go to bat for the Goblin Bolt Throwers. I think they're all right. They're very solid. They're cheap. They force your opponent to come to you. They don't get insane damage value, but they're also like 650 gold. Snagless Death Throw is like 900, I think. I don't know. I knew you were gonna cast it, so I was creating content too, Fivehead. Ah, shit. Nari May outplayed me. Fuck. Love that, dude. Love that. Damn, dude. That was a Khorne stop. Khorne just blitzed through that front line. Mangler Squigs didn't get a lot of value. I mean, they're only 1,000 gold, so even with the Minotaurs running up and completely bodying those fools, they still almost paid for themselves, which is a little wild, but they did more harm to their own side of the explosion than the enemy, so Twist definitely turned those against his opponent. And I did also... So here's the thing. Here's where I'll be fair. I was memeing with the Mangler Squigs. You're not a bad person if you take them. I was memeing. And they are overpowered. They should get nerfed. But the more I'm seeing them, and I'm getting more data... Because in early access, there's only so many people that have early access, so you can't get a ton of data quickly. In practice, there are a lot of good ways to deal with the Mangler Squigs. It mostly involves nets or monstrous infantry, but still. Manglers can be dealt with. And especially if you trick them, because they rampage, right? So if you can get them to rampage and follow you into your opponent, you can kind of use them to your advantage. Are they still too strong? Sure, they need a nerf. But they're not as game-breakingly, horrendously bad as I feared in early access. They're still crazy, but like Mangler Squigs are less of a problem than the Thunder Barge, which is saying something. Another fun game here: Luna Pruno versus a TK and Arian. Game's off to a quick start as both sides vanguarded towards each other. Chameleon Stalker front line backed up by Chameleon Skinks, Nakai the Wanderer, Beastcaster Flock of Doom, and then a bunch of Ripperdactyl Riders. For the Wood Elves, we have Way Watchers, Glade Guard, a couple Eternal Guard, Dryads. We have another Glade... Ooh, that's a Glade Lord. Pravenoth Raymond, Arrow of Kurnos up on a dragon. That's a weird-looking dragon, human boy. An eagle. And then Ariel on the ground, the Soul Stealer, Apotheosis, and a Berry Wine. Okay. Chameleon Stalkers sprinted into melee, threw their little grenades, and then they have fire damage. So you think these guys would be good against Dryads, but even against Dryads, Chameleon Stalkers are still losing, and they are still terrible. Chameleon Stalkers are just terrible. Terrible units. Pak cohort and the Ripperdactyls getting in the back line now. The Wood Elves not enjoying that extra attention. archers under duress already. We still have some skink skirmishers back here with Nakai. Hey Nakai, the Wanderer, can you go wander towards some battle because I love your charge animation so much? Thank you, sir. I'll make sure to catch that charge animation as the Soul Stealer drains down the Pocket Pot cohort. Skink Skirmishers still trying to provide some shots off the side while they duel with Waywatchers, which Waywatchers will win that, but I think damage value-wise, the Skink Skirmishers will win because the Waywatchers are just so expensive that, like, it's worth it to trade with them. Eternal Guard are trying to peel the Ripperdactyls, and they will win that fight overall as Nakai's getting closer to starting his brilliant animation. Da-da, da-da. It's actually my favorite animation in the whole game. Fuck you, I enjoy it. Da, 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 da. Charge! Yay! He looks so happy! Oh, I love it. It's my favorite animation in the whole game. It's so funny. Oh, it's great. It's fantastic. I love the Nakai buffs because now he's viable. I don't think he's the best Lizardman Lord, but like you're not trolling if you take him. He is legit. He has some uses. Popping Primal Roar so you're rampaged in the middle of a bunch of Eternal Guard is probably not the use case. I would not do that, but he has some use cases, and I love his animations. Glade Lord took a ton of damage, had to get a Berry Wine from Ariel, so its heal cap is going to be just around the corner. If he takes a little bit more damage, you'll see it. So that's already the Berry Wine is gone, and man, he is getting torn apart by basic Ripperdactyls. If the Clawstone Hunters join in here, this guy is just toast. Why is he losing so bad to basic Rippers? I guess he only has 40 melee attack. I'm sorry, melee defense. Huh. Has to use a net to get out of there. He does get out of there, though, so good for him. Nakai is still stuck fighting a whole bunch of spears. Flock of Doom hits all those spears at the same time, though, which is a little problematic. Bounce power is 50-50. Why is that? I suppose Ariel's pretty healthy. We have a lot of spears left, and the Glade Lord is still technically alive. For the Lizardmen, they're just attritioning out. Their Chameleon Stalkers were worthless, unfortunately, for them. They're cool units, but they're just really, really bad. So those guys kind of holding them back. The Ripperdactyls are running out of HP, and there's no healing for them with this build. And then you have some Skink Skirmishers that are just running all around the map. We still have Waywatchers who are firing. It looks like they're currently firing at this little Skink Priest of Beasts. They might want to focus their shots on the Clawstone Hunters rather than a random Skink Priest of Beast, but teach their own. Nakai is losing confidence in himself. As far as his shonen anime arc goes, this is the part where he retreats home and talks to his mother or father figure, and they give him some kind of pep talk, and then he uses that in the fourth quarter to beat the enemy. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. I think he needs more than a pep talk to beat like 3 full health fucking spears, but I mean, it's anime. It's anime. Maybe don't sell him short. As Flock of Doom is a hell of a drug, hits 3 more of those guys. And little Skink Priest is doing his best to clean up another Soul Stealer onto Nakai and the Ripperdactyls. Ariel's going to heal herself with all that. Wood Elves are pulling slightly into the lead, I would agree. The Lizardmen, they've got to rally together all these full health Skink Skirmishers to provide some bodies for Nakai to charge over. This dude only has 1500 HP left. Soul Stealers are coming for him. Look at him shaking it off. See, he just got his pep talk over here. He got it from the Chameleon Stalkers, apparently. He was raised by them, I guess. It's like a kid raised by wolves situation. I don't know. Another Flock of Doom to help clear these guys out. Nakai is retreating. His mentor figure in the back of his mind tells him, wait your turn, Nakai. Wait for the time to present itself. Blah, blah, blah. You'll know when the time is right. Oh, shit! Ripperdactyls went in! The time is now! The time is now, motherfucker! Turn around! No, the Ripperdactyls, Nakai! Nakai, you needed to go help them, and you just rampaged yourself into Ariel, and then you got netted. Nakai, no! You're not getting a season 2. Oh, that looks real netted, Nakai. That looks real netted, you stupid cheating bitch. Alright, Nakai's gonna die. Ariel's gonna route this King Priest to Beasts, and the Ripperdactyls have tried so hard to carry this game. Nakai, you didn't listen to anything I taught you! You're so dumb! Elsewhere, Skink Skirmishers, Ripperdactyls are all trying to come back to the fight. There's an awful lot of spears between them and victory. The Glade Lord is still kiting away from the Ripperdactyl Riders, firing his bow backwards as he goes, and Nakai actually lives through his thing. He's gonna charge Ariel. She's gonna take some damage. Oh god! And she's running with the Pocket Pot cohort. Is this the comeback? Is this the arc? Is this an anime, or I don't know what anime is? I've never seen anime before in my life. Get this guy out of here. Get this fucking crocodile has-been off my screen. That's GG. Nakai is dead. Ripperdactyls are dead. Everybody's dead. Twist, anything? Thanks for casting the games? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Human Boy best legend recreation? What did I do? Not all bad, just some of the underwhelming. Say some of those. Catch up on chat. I was really expecting Cell Cannons here. Also, it's all good. I broke Rose the 2 summons, Mango Squigs. I am a bad person. Oh, that's not. That's. I mean, okay, it was true, but like, oh. As long as you can solo a dragon character, it's a bit much, lol. Oh, you're just talking about the Manglers, yeah. You have a link for buying the DLC? Yeah, I do. Hold on, I can fetch it while we watch Nakai just casually walk off screen. As far as the rest of this, I'm just waiting for Skinks to slowly file into these last Eternal Guard. Ariel's getting close to heal capping. Where's the Glade Lord? Hold on, did he die? Lord fled recently. Oh, I guess those Ripperdactyls finished him off. I was checking chat. That's messed up. Ariel gets a big Soul Stealer off, which is going to heal her. But yeah, actually the Wood Elves are in big trouble. Oh my god, Nakai's back. It's happening. It's happening. Hold on, I gotta get the link for the guy, the thing. There you go, Vic. It's happening! I got distracted by chat and I was talking to you about dumb bullshit. But the Ripperdactyls are back. Ariel stands alone as all the Eternal Guard are routing around her. And Nakai's coming back, baby! The arc is real! Ah, shit! Hang on, let him get in there. Let him get in there. He's got to deliver the killing blow himself. His Ariel's getting real low on leadership, not HP. Her HP is completely fine. But Nakai is here with a miasma of despair. He just throws her a middle finger as he runs straight past. He wants nothing to do with it. He rampages himself. He rampages all of his units, and Ariel's gonna fucking kill her. Look at the bounce power. Watch it. Watch it. When she routes, that shit's gonna skyrocket up. But Nakai's in it. Nakai's in it, baby. No way she didn't route. She takes a bunch of damage. There it is. Now she's gonna route. And then that bounce power starts creeping, starts going away. How have you not routed it? You've been negative like so many times as Nakai takes so much damage. He's down to 54 HP, but 54 is enough, but no, he dies just as it was. Guys, she just routed Ariel and he dies as her last attack. The Wood Elves try and take the conquest point because no one has given a shit about that in this entire game. Does Ariel cause terror? Yes, she does. Are Ripperdactyls ITP? No. They are when they have frenzy, but otherwise no. So these guys could tear her out away, leave Ariel on her own, and the Chameleon Stalkers are invisible. Okay, this is what I'm invested in. These guys need to route for no reason. Chameleon Stalkers are invisible. She comes back, she wins the whole game as Dryads are running to her aid. Those Ripperdactyls get real low. Holy shit, they could tear her out at any moment, but they're not gonna as the Dryads shatter. We have some Glade Guard. How the fuck did all the spears die? I was too distracted by Nakai like hummus. I guess Flock of Doom spam? Oh no! No, 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 no! Why did you do that? Oh shit! He doesn't know his Chameleon Stalkers are invisible. He's letting Ariel come back for no reason. Ah, no! No! You think you're chasing her, but she's alive. Shit! And now the Glade Guard are gonna kill off those Ripperdactyls, maybe the other one too. Ariel's back, baby. She charges the Chameleon Stalker. She needs an Apotheosis immediately. Apotheosis! Quick! Quick, 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 quick! You gotta heal her! Her leadership's getting too low, dude! Bro, does the Wood Elf player know Ariel's back? He doesn't! Neither player knows Ariel's back! No! No! Damn it! Because he wouldn't have taken that fight with the Chameleon Stalkers if he knew she was back. He would have cast a spell on her. Even if he doesn't have Winds of Magic, he would have fucked off. He wouldn't have just charged a bunch of Chameleon Stalkers for no reason. Oh no. Ariel's routing again. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? She's gonna fucking come back again because these guys are gonna go invisible. She's gonna get away from them. I guess they're faster than her at this point. They might keep up. Yeah, okay, never mind. They'll keep up. So the Wood Elves are doomed. Ripperdactyl's trying to clean it up. The Wood Elves have the capture point. They still have Eternal Guard, but I mean, with this many skink skirmishers that can just throw their bodies at anything, they'll be okay. Ariel has positive leadership. And they were stalked again! They were stalked again! Please! Wood Elf player, realize she exists! Do something! No! Don't just let her go into melee combat again! He had no idea. The Wood Elf player had legit no idea Ariel came back. Ever. As far as he knows, Ariel fucking routed once. She routed one time and ran off the map. He has no idea they came back twice. Holy shit. So Ariel's just calling out to an Aryan, which is an appropriate name. Ariel's just calling out to an Aryan, and it's just like, my lord, I've returned. And Arian's like, shut up, I'm doing things. She just gets fucking wrecked by a chameleon stalker. He doesn't give a shit. Oh my god, my sides hurt. Oh boy. Alright, the Way Watchers got run down like immediately. Ariel did fine. Glade Lord honestly did pretty okay too. A lot of the melee infantry did okay. For La Luna La Pruna, Nakai did well. Chameleon Stalkers, some of them did okay, though I attribute that more to them getting to chase stuff in the late game rather than actually impact damage. Skink Skirmishers did very well, and the Ripperdactyls did insanely well. It's very, very good. Final game of the day coming in. It's going to be hard to beat that Nakai one. Because I have a whole bunch of pings. Why? Why are you pinging me? The lizard list is illegal with 9 units of 360. Oh, okay. An Aryan's informing me that their opponent had 9 360 shooting units, so it's illegal. It was what I was casting in the past, and an Aryan made it to the finals anyway. Luna did not, so in the end, time favored an Aryan. Alright, we have Kobe versus Sir Arthur of Itis. La Luna in the chat. I had fun. Does that not matter? Do you think instead of Chameleon Stalkers, playing Skink Cohorts would have been better, or Saurus? Probably Skink Cohorts and then just get more units elsewhere. Chameleon Stalkers are funny, but they just kind of like suck. Generically. The Saurus 2 wouldn't be terrible, but Saurus just generally aren't in the best spot. Maybe Saurus Spears. In case of like Durthu. Because you don't want to just think about... Sorry, I want to finish this thought and then cast the game correctly. You don't want to just think about the build you ran into. You want to think about the builds you could have run into. So the Wood Elves could have had like Durthu and stuff. So maybe a Saurus Spear unit wouldn't be a bad idea. Versus like Treekin and Durthu and Zotes and Wild Riders and stuff. Now just because that Wood Elf build didn't have any of those things doesn't mean you can't prepare for them. So I don't think the Chameleon Stalkers are very good, unfortunately. Yeah. The Ripperdactyls did insane, though. And La Luna's pretty good with those. Like, certain good Lizardmen players and certain good Vampire Counts players get Vargeists and Ripperdactyls to do good work. I just, like, can't. So when I watch a player get a lot of value out of them, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I wish mine did that. But I know it's, like, it's how you're handling them. I know mine aren't just, like, again, that's half a joke, half, like, an observation. But it's not like my units are actually worse than anybody else's. It's just like, oh, when I use them, they suck and die. So I don't know what that player's doing differently than me. But it's clearly working. Alright. Final game of the day, Bretonnia versus Dark Elves. For the Dark Elves, we have Malekith on his dragon, the Chill of Sontar, Warhydra ROR, then Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, including the Hellbroni, 1 Dark Shard, a Blackguard of Nagarond, and then some Cold One Knights in the back. For Bretonnia, we have King Luin Lane Kerr in the sky, and Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis. Ooh, nice breath attack from the Chill of Sontar. Anyway, Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, some Growly, Experimented Arms, all that nonsense. But we have Royal Pegasus Knights, more Knights of the Realm, a Treb in the back, and a Damsel of Life with Earthblood and Awakening the Wood. And 1 Grail Knight. There we go. Our first Grail Knight of the day. Power of Darkness used on his own Chill of Sontar because it has regeneration. I admire the hustle. Malekith just getting extra winds of magic out. He's getting the sky because there's a beautiful breath attack right here waiting for him if he gets up in the sky, and he positions himself perfectly for it, and he's trying to. And where is he going? Just breath attack right there. No, please. No, don't fight Lewin. No, your breath attack is needed else. Okay, Lewin, that was an odd little turn you just did to get away from that, but okay, whatever. No, okay, he's back on it. Lewin let Malekith go for just a second. Now he's back. Anyway, Lewin's chasing around Malekith, and the Grail Knights are going to surround the Chill of Sontar. This is terrible for this Chill of Sontar. Completely surrounded in anti-large armor-piercing knights with anti-large spearmen poking your butt. And Royal... Ooh, I don't know if you need all the Royal Pegasus Knights here too, but yeah, they're really trying to stamp out the Chill of Sontar. Look at this, though. The Dark Elves need to punish this somehow. Malekith needs to get over here and throw down a Breath Attack or a Soul Stealer, or the Coldland Knights need to get a charge, because this is way too many Knights piled up on the Chill of Sontar. No punish is going to come in, since Lewin is harassing Malekith, and the Coldland Knights are busy doing other things. But hey, we got a Soul Stealer, so that's something. And sneaky, sneaky Dark Riders getting the Field Trebuchet. The Knights of Bretonnia are going to come back and deal with this. I don't think you need 2 Knights of the Realm to chase off 1 Dark Rider, though, because the Dark Riders are faster, so they're actually just going to walk away. So Bretonnia moving in clumps a little too much. They gotta spread out. Spread out their forces. Take multiple engagements that are favorable, not just keep piling up on single engagements. Lewin lands on the Chill of Sontar. Chill of Sontar isn't ROR, but it is still just a Hydra, and Hydras are cowardly, cowardly units. So his leadership dipped quite a bit there for a second, but Malekith is going to take this opportunity to charge in with his Coldland Knights with the Chill of Sontar nearby and try and really turn around this fight. Grail Knights also jump in, though, so Bretonnia has all of its good assets in this single fight, and Malekith has still not used any of his breath attacks, I don't think. Yeah, he hasn't used any of those yet, which I could criticize, but I won't, because I wouldn't do that. That'd be mean. It'd be mean to be critical of not using your breath attacks. Even though 50% of the reason you take a Dragon Mount is for the breath attacks, so if you don't use them, you're wasting half the potential of your unit. I would never bring that up on a new player stream. I would never try and teach someone something on a new player stream. That's not what we're about here. We are about blind the praise. That's all we do here, is just say everybody's doing great at everything. No improvements could ever be made. That's all we do. So Malekith not using his breath attacks, peak. It's good. It's glorious. There's no reason. Why would you use them? Why would you? Please use them. The Chill of Sontar had a super sick breath attack at the start of the game. Alright, the ITP of the Grail Elite keeping a lot of people in this fight. Chill of Sontar is going to kill that so it can tear out off the Damsel. And Malekith doing his best. Bretonnia's falling a little bit behind here. Damsel uses her last heal of the game on some Grail Knights, putting her faith in them to carry because she does not believe in herself. Never mind, she's on a horsey. She'll be okay. Oh, will she? She's stuck on a single spearman. Hey, hey! Get out of the way! Let her run! There's a giant snake behind her. Give her some space. Give her some room. There we go. She's gonna make it. She's gonna be fine. She'll be back. Don't you worry. Malekith's getting pretty low. He has no sort of healing whatsoever, so there's no possible way he could fix this situation he finds himself in, as we have some Royal Pegasus Knights busy getting clapped by Coldland Knights. The Grail Knight's still pretty healthy due to the last heal we ever saw from the Damsel ever. Last heal we ever saw. Are you hiding behind some rocks? Hang on. Did she actually just try and hide behind some rocks in the Chill of Sontar? Look at this. Look, like, if I turn the Total War aspect off, this is like straight out of like Lord of the Rings or something. Look at this. Look at this thing. Like when the hobbits are sitting in that little gully and the Nazgul's looking for him, he's looking over him. It's like this. She just fucking ran around a rock, and now the Hydra's like, where the hell? She was right here. She was right here. I just saw her. And Malekith's over here like, what the fuck? Get your ass over here. Funny. Oh, Malekith does the Healy Circle. I have been fooled and bamboozled. There's no possible way I could have known about Soul Stealer. It's such a rare spell. I've never seen Soul Stealer before in my entire life. Also, Malekith just got cheated so hard. That Soul Stealer didn't hit the Grail Knights because the Grail Knights are actually over here. See the red triangles? But their flag was in the middle of the Soul Stealer, so Malekith's like, I'm going to hit some Grail Knights. And then he absolutely did not, because flags are tricky. The Chill of Sontar is still on his vision quest, trying to figure out where the hell the damsel went, and he found her. She scooted around him back to the Bretonnians. Oh, Lord. All right, Dark Elves are up on the balance of power. I'm not as certain that's true, because you do have a lot of healing Grail Knights and Lewin in the late game. Malekith's looking pretty low, and Soul Stealers can heal him up. I don't know how much Wind's Magic he has left. It depends on how many Soul Stealers are used for damage, as far as just like, if you just heal, you can probably heal Cap, but if you use some for damage, then you won't. So I have no idea. A little Awakening of the Wood to poke out some of the spears. The Damsel retreats. Since we're clustering up like this, I'm guessing there's going to be some Earthblood shenanigans. This is Conquest mode, it's not land battles, so you don't need to be attacking at all times. It looks like the Bretonnians were trying to take advantage of that, but Malekith overextends, and now he's surrounded, Sword of Khorne down to lower his melee defense. Grail Knights piling in. Can the Chill of Sontar get a breath attack down this beautiful line of Knights? It doesn't look to be the case. Instead, the Chill of Sontar is just going to run in. Malekith continues to try and get away. He's taking so much damage. He's like, ooh, ow, ow, please, no, let me go. Lewin gets up into the sky to fly over the Chill of Sontar, back down on the ground to land a charge attack on Malekith. He's going to continue chasing him. He ain't giving up for shit as an Earthblood is out onto all those Knights, but the Knights might be overcommitted. Knights of the Realm and Grail Knights are in here, surrounded by Blackguards, so yes, you might maybe snipe Malekith, but you're taking so much guaranteed damage on the Grail Knights, I don't know if it's worth it. They're trying to back out now, realizing this is a bad idea. Malekith's just going to nurse his wounds. He's over there like, I don't want to deal with this. Back up in the sky. Chill of Sontar has still had that red arrow on the damsel like literally this whole game. I will find you. I will find you and I will kill you. I will kill the shit out of you, lady. Grail Knights, I don't know if they were trying to charge the Chill of Sontar. I think they were just trying to run past him. They did take a lot of damage for their efforts. There's still a Dark Shard poking them too, so Bretonnia is kind of between a rock and a hard place. He misses out on literally hundreds of damage. Breath attacks are still pretty good. Lewin's going to charge the Dark Shards to get them to stop shooting at him. I think he's trying to bait the Cold One Knights to charge him, so then the Grail Knights can rear charge them. It looks like the Dark Elf player is going to fall for it, so in comes the Grail Knights to rear charge those guys. Looks like they're actually getting attack orders on the Dark Shards, though. They definitely should have taken that moment to fight the Cold One Knights. And there's another Earthblood. Try and heal the Royal Pegasus Knights, Grail Knights, and Lewin. But in comes the Soul Stealer to damage all of them. Soul Stealer hits every single target for the Bretonnian army. Malekith's going to heal up while those guys continue to get damaged. Malekith even lands on Lewin, not content enough just to get the Soul Stealer as the Chill of Sontar continues to chase him around. Dark Elves hold the point, and Dark Riders heroically stop Grail Knights in their tracks, and they get rolled. That's about appropriate, but it is what it is. The damsel terrorists away from Malekith, and Chill of Sontar says, "Don't worry, boss, I'll kill that fucking damsel. Don't you worry, boss, I'm coming." Malekith calls an idiot, and then they switch spots. Lewin gets some more hits onto Malekith, but not enough as his Grail Knights are fading away, as Royal Pegasus Knights are fading away. It is just Lewin all by his lonesome, and Army Losses has something to say to you, King of Bretonnia. And by that I mean it says wait for that Earthblood to be over, and then I'll have something to say to you, King of Bretonnia. You ready for minus 100 leadership? He saved the breath attack! Oh, the breath attack was for the Army Losses! Holy shit, he did it! He did it! That's all this was for. That's all it was all for, was just a breath attack. This guy at the very end to get him to Army Loss. Holy shit. Love it. Good plays. Good job, Kobe. Good job, buddy. Dark Elves got good value spread across their roster. Dark Shards did great. Cold One Knights did great. Chill of Sontar did great. For Sir Arthur of Itis, Lewin tried his damnedest. His Knights did not very well, but the Royal Pegasus Knights did fine. Grail Knights did okay. Trip did okay. GG. All three were saved for Army Losses. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's true. It is true. That's what they were all saved for. I am going to leave. I hope everybody had fun. Thanks to Big JP for hosting it and running it. Next week, we'll be back at the same time with another new player tournament of his, and then I might do my own towards the end of the year. But it's going to be Christmas week, so that'll get a little awkward. I don't know. Holidays mess with everything. Oh! 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 Yeah, I have nothing left to say. Goodbye. Leave. Get out. Shoo. Go away. I don't want to talk to you guys anymore. Oh, I have a mod on. I can't even play that. I guess I'll just play my Karl Franz campaign. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Definitely not gonna turn this off and go take a nap. That's not gonna happen. It's not at all what's happening here. Something completely different than that is happening. At some point, this just becomes a social experiment to see how long you people will just sit around watching nothing. Yes, I know we're still here. I am very aware the stream is still on. I'm just curious how many of you are going to sit here and do nothing. I'm just checking messages. I'm not doing shit. Should Pit of Shades be banned? No. Fine, it is bugged. I'm not gonna do anything. At some point, this stream is just gonna cut out, and you'll be left disappointed. There is nothing left for you here. Please leave. People are still saying bye and have a good one. How are there still 70 people here? I imagine here's where I get my faith in humanity is I'm imagining that most of the people who are still here are actually behind live on the stream and they're not currently live, because if 69 people are actually just sitting here watching me sit on the main menu, I'm gonna be so sad. This is how you get the bonus round. Never. Okay. All right. All right. For anybody who's still here after all this time, I gotta find something worthwhile. The top 10 worst regiments of renown comes out tomorrow. I will show you what number 3 is. You get to know number 3 ahead of time. Number 3 is the Death Jacks. You get the Death Jacks. You know what? I'll even give you number 7. What's number 7? The Immortals. Oh, the Immortals made it to number 7. I thought they were a little higher. All right, number 7 is the Immortal. Number 3 is the Death Jacks. That's what you get for hanging around. This video comes out tomorrow, so yeah. What else comes out? It's top 10 worst regiments of renown. There's some replays. Yeah, the Archaon Lord of the End Times video already came out. Top 10 regiment of renown came out. We have a bug video for the first time in a long time. I don't know. Some other dumb garbage. It's all garbage. If you're a member, you can see this stuff already. If you can't, then it comes out every morning at 8 a.m. It all comes out eventually. No content is truly locked. It's just later. All right, how many people are still here for this nonsense? 73. Waiting for the after credits scene. Oh, that's pretty good. Praise the great plan. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm leaving. Goodbye. You're gonna watch me hit the end stream thing. You'll know it's actually over.